might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We bad to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we did this rhyming. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society. Struggling with my sobriety. Struggling with my anxiety. Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep drowning me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Hope you're ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Hope you're ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side.
Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to sign into that. So we had people on the WYRM channel saying, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back. I haven't seen you in 4 months or whatever." And I was trying to tell them, like, well, I'm live almost every day. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you obviously didn't make the move after the last channel or whatever, but need to open this. Grab that link and close it before it starts repeating too bad. Hell does more music mean? You want more music or you're complaining about the music? You got to be very specific with me, because you might just get cussed out for no reason. I'm very volatile. Feeling very destructive today. Vicious 2. It's getting a little bit cooler here. I've noticed. I started wearing a jacket after. I usually don't go home until like, I don't know, 1, 2 in the morning. And yeah, it's been getting kind of cold here. All right, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. I'm going to kill the music right there. Let me go ahead and reset it for when we start back, or when we do the outro, and we'll get started. Thank you for joining us. And away we go, I guess.
Hello, Wilbard at the Qrew Bill Confessional. This is from your friend, Dr. J. Banana. Wilbard, sorry about the loss of your legs in the washing machine accident. I hope you have good luck getting the money up for your new titanium legs. If you need anything at all, I mean anything at all, the Power Rangers have your back. It's morphin' time! Tiger Zord!
Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Scott, for the intro. I am Will Bard, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Always raising money for my titanium legs. Shout out to Jay Hyatt Ashbury, Dr. J Banana, the Prostitute, for the cameo purchase. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is a good intro as well. So thank you guys for joining us. Again, I'm Will Bard. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. CBC Anon on YouTube, Cold Beer Confessional everywhere else. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it. If you want to support the stream, just interact with it. I do have a couple of announcements first. So the first one is, I have a question. So the first one is, did you like the new show format, the Saturday show? I did it on the WYRM channel, What You Recently Missed. Did you like the new show format? If you got a chance to see it, I'm sure some of you didn't see it, but whatever, I tried. I've been like hyping it up for a week, so hopefully people found it. Second, the views that are expressed in this video are not mine. I'm actually disputing the vast majority of these views. They shouldn't be misconstrued as mine or used as an attempt to take down my channel because someone else's beliefs that I disagree with. The reason we show these beliefs is to out them as false, a false narrative, and to try to drive people away from that stance. I had one more, and now I forgot it. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Anyways, if you want to support the stream, like, share, whatever you can do there. Shout it out. Participate in the chat. I would appreciate that. Participate in the chat. Leave a message. Talk to me. Tell me something. These shows are kind of more laid back. Oh, the last announcement. Tonight is definitely going to be it's going to have an after show, okay? Just because of how much content there is to cover. So there's going to be an after show, which is the Patreon level, $2 and up. There'll still be a full show. We're still going for an hour and a half or so here. But there'll be a show after that to try to wrap some stuff up. So if you want to join that, it's the $2 Patreon group. You can find that at coldbeer.fund, the same place you would donate anytime. And if you want to donate to support the show, coldbeer.fund is where to do it. We got Buy Me a Coffee. You can donate there. The Patreon link, if you want to sign up for that $2 and up after show. And then, of course, we got our merch website, stickers on the top row, shirts on the next couple rows, and then pillows at the end. I do plan on listing the coffee cups. I was supposed to do it this weekend, but I got sick and all that stuff. I do plan on listing the coffee cups this week. If you're interested in seeing any of that or purchasing any of that, you're more than welcome. Type exclamation point tip in the chat, exclamation point TIP, and the bot will give you the link. It's coldbeer.fund is how you get to the donation site. Coldbeer.fund. And of course, bits and stuff work as well. But just letting you know, coldbeer.fund is a much better way to donate where they, Twitch doesn't charge you. They don't take half the subscriptions. They don't do none of that shit. So, yeah, I think we're good after that. So let me see if this is right. OBS main connected. Save. All right, so here we go. Let me move the screen around, and we'll get started. So we're going to talk about, first off, people who mention us. We've had some new mentions, so I hope everybody's ready for some of that content. We've had some new people talking about us. Damn it. My seat's messed up underneath me. We've had some new people talk about us, some new mentions. So we'll probably dive immediately into that. I'm sure that's what you've been waiting on.
Undefined wants to know undefined.
Undefined wants to know undefined. That was weird. Thank you, undefined. I appreciate that. I'm sure that was a glitch. I'm assuming. I think TTS is working.
Web.
Yeah, it should be working. Anyways, the first one is a guy we haven't even seen in a while, right?
Undefined wants to know undefined.
How many times is that going to happen? Undefined wants to know undefined. Let me see if I can fix that right quick. That's my ask a question thing. But it should be working. Anyways, the first one is a guy we haven't seen in a while. I'll work on that if it becomes an issue. It's went off twice for some reason. I have no idea why. But we'll get into that. The first one is someone we haven't seen in a while. He basically went into hiding, or at least that's the best that we can assume, is that he went into hiding, and he probably deserved to after he went and said that he was picking up ballots out of retirement for some federal courier service out of Arizona and said, we have it all. And now he's calling out Trump for literally not having the evidence and not pursuing a case, which again, I don't agree with any of this. I'm just telling you the lies that they make up. So you'll know when they pop up. These are the lies that they've been telling. So the first person we got up on deck is Jeff B. Talking. He's not really talking about us, but he's back in action. So that's close enough. Here we go.
I love Jeff. He's so he's a white burger. Yeah, that's why.
So he just joined the chat here.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good.
This is on 10 TV. Oh, thank you. Guess who farted? This guy just resubscribed for 8 months. Thank you, buddy.
Yourself.
Doing good tonight.
All right. I want to know, is Durham a good guy or a bad guy?
Good night, Chief Kicker. Thank you for being a mod tonight.
Yeah, just cut right to the shit, huh, Krista?
Yeah, I want to know. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Good guy.
Good guy?
Yeah. I think so.
So, because I'm reading all these things today and yesterday about, because of his dragging his feet, that it's causing issues with other investigations.
Durham hasn't lost a case.
Well, the Sussman.
Durham hasn't lost a case, is Jeff's claim immediately. Durham hasn't lost a case. Oh, really? And they say, well, Sussman, right? They said Sussman. And then we go into this.
We lose it, though?
Well, it all depends on your perspective, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know about you, but when that happened, my nice words were not being used. I mean,
I was disappointed too.
Oh, that might have been way too loud. I didn't notice that.
Escorted by U.S. Marshals.
So he says when Sussman left the courthouse, he was escorted by U.S. Marshals. So that's the way for him to come out and say, oh, well, he didn't leave. He took a plea deal, or we were just told he lost. We were just told this happened. We were just told that. He's got another one in here in just a second where he says some shit about, unless you were there in person, you don't know what happened.
I know that he was, again, one piece of a multi-level puzzle. And I understand that through him, things were he opened his mouth and things were divulged. I understand that. But I expected a conviction.
Yeah, but if you were...
That's because the idiots you followed told him it was open and shut, full conviction. This is the start. This is how they bring down the evil pyramid of evildoers of evil.
Into a plea agreement to get higher up the rung.
He was acquitted. Okay? He was acquitted. The verdict is in. He was acquitted. He didn't take a plea agreement. He was acquitted.
That's kind of considered a victory.
Oh, well, if you take a plea agreement, that's kind of considered a victory, right? Right? No, he was acquitted. He didn't take a plea.
So a sealed plea agreement, correct?
Right. Have you seen Michael Sussman anywhere?
Well, right directly after, but since then, no, he's become very quiet. And people have been talking and searching for him and wanting to do interviews with him. And
Yeah.
if I were him, I'd disappear too, because you don't want to be Arkansas-sided. So,
Or maybe he's somewhere else.
oh, I get you.
Jeff thinks Sussman's in fucking Gitmo.
Yeah, that poor man. But he's coming out of it okay.
So far.
So then, I don't know. I don't understand, I guess, the legal system in this regard with Durham. Why so long? Why did it take so long?
Well, when do you think this whole
So he says, he throws up this argument, have you seen Sussman since this court case? Did you see Sussman before he was named as a suspect? Was he someone that you saw on the news all the fucking time, just running around and, you know, oh, there's good old Sussy. You remember my Uncle Tim used to be best friends with Sussy before he got big and famous. But now it's hard to hang out with him. He's a busy man. Oh, Mikey Sussman. Of course not. Where would he be, Jeff? Coming out to hang out with you? He made it. He went to court. He made his press statements. I'm sure he doesn't want his life in turmoil for all of eternity. I would disappear after I made my statements and said, hey, you know, of course, we knew we were going to get acquitted. Everything's good to go. I'm going to go back to my life as a lawyer.
Oh, long time ago.
Before 1929, I
I'm going to
think.
say JFK.
Yeah.
Anybody got a guess out there?
Well,
I'm gonna say before this country was even a country.
JFK knew.
Oh, I don't even know. They're guessing when the cabal started. The deep state. I'm sorry. When did the deep state start?
I'm going to say JFK.
Yeah.
Anybody got a guess out there?
Well,
I'm gonna say before this country was even a country.
JFK knew about it. So all this stuff. So if he knew about it, that meant that it had been going on for some time. So
Okay,
it
Krista,
has to
I
be way
wasn't born.
before that.
I wasn't born in a cave. I don't know the presidents back then. Okay.
You
So-
don't know
really-
presidents?
No, I
if
do.
it's
I'm
been
just
going
kidding.
on that long,
I'm kidding.
why do you think it
We got a comedian on set here. Okay, if you're talking about presidents from then, I didn't vote from the back of a dinosaur. I don't know who they are. Okay. Then she says, you don't know the presidents? And he's like, no, I do. It was just a joke. What the fuck?
should only take 10 minutes to finish up?
Because we're at the point now where we are on the precipice, and I understand that this has been eons in the making. I get that. You know, we've been.
Welcome, Sherry. There's other people that are in Twitch and YouTube welcoming you to chat, but it doesn't relay over to Facebook like it does everywhere else.
Headed in a
They can see your messages, but you can't see theirs.
direction for a long time as human beings, but we've also been funneled toward that direction with whips and prods behind us, making us go this way. So I understand that this has been in the works for a long time. What I don't understand is at this juncture, why wait? Just do something. Like we're so close to everything going to shit that now would be a good time to say, okay, let's fix some of this crap and make it public.
And Jeff, she's just asking for a friend.
Yeah,
Again, nobody can make this argument. Okay. Now, YouTube, don't get mad at me. I don't believe this. I'm setting up a hypothetical. If the great savior, Trump, is in charge secretly, why is everybody suffering so bad? Would you say that your life has gotten better or worse or stayed about the same since arbitrarily, but still since Trump left office? I mean, death and destruction and World War III precipice and the financial hardship and the inflation and then the other day someone asked this and they're like, oh well, because he gave command of the nation to the military. Okay, well then why is the military fucking us? Like I still don't get it. That doesn't make it better.
asking for a friend.
I'm just asking for a friend because everything, because I think everybody's kind of feels that way, and it's all the friends in chat. Like, yeah, we're all kind of asking the same question. We kind of know the answer, but we just want some confirmation. Like, help us, teacher. We need some help.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, actually, I saw that story about an hour ago, I actually wanted to ask Suko if what she had to say about it, and I forgot. Thanks for dropping that in the chat. So apparently North Korea fired a ballistic missile. It would have been at like 8:30 a.m. KST. So they think it went over Japan and into the Pacific Ocean. But apparently it triggered some automated evacuation from Tokyo. Warnings, like not mandatory evacuation or anything, but warnings, like automatic warnings went out. Which is wild, but I didn't know if Etsuko had heard anything about it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, only hope.
What's anything in Russia today, Jeff?
I was watching it earlier. They were basically talking about Bolsonaro winning the election.
Trump's does not, his time to declare running in 2024 is not over. That's silly, because if that were true, then everybody would be declared by now, right? Everybody, like all the Democrats, all the Republicans that's going to run against him, all the people, Marco Rubio and fucking, who knows, Hillary Clinton for the 15th time. And they would all have to be declared as well. Like typically the reason that you see a lot of people declare to run for president about the same time is because it is it's a balance game, right? You want to get out early enough to where people know who you are. You can make some good press statements before the pack gets really crowded, because once there's already 8 people running and then you announce, everybody's already with their 8 people. You know what I mean? So that's hard to do, right? That's hard to stick around. But you don't want to get out there too early, because it changes the way that you can accept donations. Once you announce that you're going to run, it puts a bunch of limits on your donations and funds and shit. So we usually see them all announced about the same time, and that is the year before they would have taken office. And then that's it, like in the spring, I guess. They are saying the missile flew over Japan and landed in the Pacific. Yeah, that's what I saw on the news.
And talking about who did,
But it isn't that uncommon. About 4 or 5 years ago, North Korea did the same exact thing. About 4 or 5 years ago, North Korea just launched a missile over Japan before. That was when we had the big scare of, can North Korea missiles reach the West Coast, and everybody was discussing it. So it's been done before, by the way. It's not like unprecedented. They're crazy.
too.
Ooh,
What are they saying over there?
Oh, they're putting it right on the lap of the United States.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
Well, you know, you guys.
So he's talking about Russia blaming. He's talking about Russia blaming the U.S. for the Nord Stream. Of course they are. I think it's probably more than likely. So there's 2 options to this. There's the option that if you're placing it on the U.S., which I don't think it is, if you're placing it on the U.S., basically what you were saying is that you don't think that Europe and Germany especially are strong enough to hold out as allies. And you've got to have the conscience to go over there and do it, knowing that, hell, there could be a bunch of people you could be killing by freezing them to death, right, this winter. I just don't think that's the U.S.'s fucking play. Piss off our allies, let them know that we don't trust them to not accept gas from this pipeline, and possibly kill a bunch of people in our allied nations if it comes to they have to have that supply. If you're Russia, though, and they're pissed off at the West and they're trying to draw out a fight or stand down a fight and say, look, this, blah, blah, blah. So Germany refused to certify this Nord Stream 2. They hadn't been using it, okay, at all. Germany refused to certify it and start using it because Russia invaded Ukraine. So if you're Russia, you can say, oh, well, you don't want to fucking certify it? That's fine. This winter, you want us to turn it back on. So if we do it and blame it on the U.S., we can play victim. We can say, oh, if there's people dying in Europe, oh, sorry, we would turn this on, but, it's got holes in it. So sorry about that. Hope you have a good winter. It was the U.S.'s fault, blah, blah, blah. They really get a lot of victim out of that. There's also a debate from like I think it's Poland. They were just about to get another pipeline completed. That was flowing gas to them or something, and they said it had something to do with it. I had to grab that article. But yeah, I think Russia plays victim here, and can blame the U.S. and possibly they're having a lot of people from their own country that are fleeing rather than get conscripted into the army. They're fleeing. There are several nation states that are telling their people to get the fuck out. Japan is one of them. Israel's another one. Because apparently, if you're just in Russia, you can be conscripted to the Russian army, even if you're not a citizen. So you could be there like on business or vacation or visiting family, or friends, and be conscripted into the army as a citizen of a different nation. Apparently, the way they work over there. So they're telling their people to get the fuck out. They don't have a whole lot of support for what's going on right now. So this could be a way to rally support with their own people.
Do have a president who don't know how to keep his little mouth shut.
Well, and you got yourself a little tater there. That's something else too.
Yeah,
Like
Sorry.
a little ketchup, doesn't he?
he's just a wannabe.
There's one more part of this I want to go over, and then we'll move on to the next video.
He is
Yeah.
a bastard.
Yeah. So you might want to mind your P's and Q's to the.
Yeah, the Baltic pipeline. Gas starts flowing to Poland through new Baltic pipeline on October 1st. In Warsaw, Poland, gas started flowing to Poland through the new Baltic pipeline from Norway via Denmark and the Baltic Sea on Saturday morning. Polish gas pipeline operator Gaz System said the pipeline is at the center of Poland's strategy to diversify its gas supplies away from Russia. That began years before Moscow's February invasion. This wouldn't have anything to do with the Ukraine explosion or invasion, because this would have been started fucking 5 years ago or probably longer. A gas system spokesperson told Reuters that flow started at 6:10 a.m. And nominations or requests for sending gas through the pipeline on October 1st totaled 62.4 million kilowatt hours. The pipeline, with an annual capacity of 10 billion cubic meters, was officially inaugurated on Tuesday, a day after leaks were detected in the subsea Nord Stream gas pipeline linking Russia to Europe. Russia cut gas supplies to Poland back in April when it refused to pay its bill in rubles. So because Poland doesn't pay in rubles, they don't operate in rubles, and Russia has been locked out of SWIFT. They can't make exchange rates. They turned off the gas to Poland back in April.
Of a really great party.
We love them. We love all countries and all peoples and all colors.
A.
I don't know. It's I mean, Canada is the girl who can't say no.
Yep.
And she has not said no to one country in particular who now owns this country. So
Is it the same country that owns this country?
not yet. Not quite
Is
yet.
trying to buy another country
Yeah.
down
God.
in
I'll give you 500
Venezuela?
for the United States, Alex. I don't know. It's like, to me, Canada and Australia are pretty much identical. Okay, we've been the testing grounds. We've been the suckers for a lot of these little games that are being played in our.
Identical.
Africa seems to be the place that, little pokey pokies end up all the time, and little test grounds for that. But the two countries in particular, because they're fairly similar in their population and morality, education systems, healthcare systems, the government, the whole bit. What?
Y'all gave up your pew-pews.
Cool.
Everybody gave up their pew-pews except you
Not me.
guys.
But I thought you guys could have some pew-pews under some
We're
situations.
allowed to, yes. You have
Not
to
like
register
here.
them. But
Nice.
you can't carry them out in the open.
I
You can
can.
carry them from your residence to the shooting range, and that's it. Like
That's
that.
how it is in California.
That's it. Well,
I can
that's where
carry
they learned it. But
No, but I'm just saying that's where it all stems from. Look around. Look what you just explained, Krista.
I think it's
Why
bigger
haven't-
than that. We don't have an army. We don't have proper police forces anymore.
The Polish people, Poland and Denmark, were really big on claiming that it was sabotage. They both come out. So it says suspicious leaks in 2 Russian gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea are probably the result of sabotage. Officials in Denmark, Germany, and Poland have warned heightening concerns of the vulnerability of Europe's energy infrastructure. This was when it. This was back in. This is right after it. Denmark's prime minister. We've read about that. Where's the Polish part? It's too early to conduct. German officials expressed concern. Sudden loss of pressure. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken spoke with their Danish counterparts on Tuesday. The U.S. is supporting efforts to investigate and we will continue on our work to safeguard Europe's energy security. Ned Price, U.S. State Department spokesperson. There was a part about the Polish government. They were upset and said that this was Russia's. Russia were mad about them opening their new pipeline. The leaks come as Russian gas supplies to Europe have dwindled as part of Vladimir Putin's effort to deter support for Ukraine. The leaks, which will not directly affect Russian gas flows because the pipelines were not operating, coincide with the inauguration of a pipeline that would deliver Norwegian gas through Denmark to Poland for the first time. We don't know all the details of what happened. We see clearly it's an act of sabotage related to the next step of escalation of the situation in Ukraine, said Poland's prime minister. Gas leak from NS1 is nothing more than a terrorist attack planned by Russia and an act of aggression towards the EU. Russia wants to destabilize the economic situation in Europe. The best response and security investment would be to help Ukraine. Asked if sabotage was the case, the Kremlin said they don't want to rule it out, but of course they're blaming it on America. Why wouldn't they? This is their plan. But anyways, yeah, the other pipeline is open now, so hopefully that alleviates some pain, at least in Poland. I mean, Poland was buying a lot of their gas from Germany, and Germany's now not able to provide for themselves or worried about winter, so they weren't providing as much to Poland either. And then Russia cut off Poland completely.
Eviscerated everything that is in a position. Like, in order to deploy our troops, we have to pay the United States to fly them from here to there. That's where we're at.
I don't know, Krista, those Royal Canadian Mountie red outfits are pretty damn sexy.
Yeah, you know who owns those?
Well, they're really sexy.
Scary. They're
Disney.
But keep in
Disney
mind,
owns
we got to be open to the environment, and it's not just war, but we got to look fashionable.
There are no more Canadian. The red serge is only worn during photo ops and regimental dinners.
Well, it's sexy looking. Just saying.
Disney owns our musical ride. Disney owns the red serge.
That's really Disney. That guy got his fingers in everybody's little pots and even their kitties. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Oh God, these people are something special.
Yeah. We're not in a position to be a superpower at all in the present day. Or
one, I don't believe the U.S. did it. Two, I don't give a fuck what you put in my chat. Gave you all the facts. I'm good. I can do my own facts. That's why I have the show. Go do your show.
Into the near future. And that's because Canada and Australia were used as the test grounds. And yeah, you're right. They took the guns away. They did. They took them away a long time ago. And they're still working on that. They're still trying to do more, They're trying to take them away from the farmers for killing rodents and groundhogs or whatever. They're trying to do it. Take it away from the gun ranges,
Jesus.
NRA has been vilified in Canada and Australia as being some kind of a horrible thing. Okay. I grew up
around the world.
It's vilified in the US as well. I mean, it's vilified everywhere.
This has been ongoing for many, 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 many years. Going back to Durham, though, knowing all of that, how long have we been waiting for a little spark of something from him?
I don't know that. I mean, like, this is pretty fucked up coming from me because I'm like disabled. All right. So I basically have all day to work on the show. But I don't know that any of them have any jobs. I don't know that any of them have jobs. Some of these people are on. I don't know, when we used to watch Christina, because she was like talking shit about us. When we used to watch Christina, man, they'd be on for like 14 hours. Like if you're streaming live for 14 fucking hours, do you have a job? Is there still enough time to sleep and work and then immediately come home? And I don't know.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Don't you believe that since there isn't any leaks and any information, that's good?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. And I think it takes a long time to build a RICO.
So now they're saying the reason we've had zero updates about all this stuff that we believe is actually a good thing, because that means there's no leaks, or it could mean it doesn't exist at all. When has the government ever had a project ever that there were 0 leaks? 0 leaks ever.
Okay, because that's like lots and lots of people, all these things all compiled. And you got to make sure every I is dotted and T's crossed. You know, okay, I'll shut up.
Well, and two, during Durham's cases, if
They were also sharing a weird with the pipeline stuff. They were sharing a weird clip of Biden from back in February that he's like, we'll stop the Nord Stream 2. And the reporter says, how? It's in Germany. And he's like, trust me, we'll stop it. And what he's talking about is telling Germany not to certify it. That's all they had to do, right? It has to be certified on both ends before it can flow. So all they had to do is say, no, we're not going to certify it until everything clears up.
this overlaps into something that the military,
Oh, God, no one's fucking censoring you. But if I want to, I will.
in the JAG Corps would have to take care of, then when you get into treason, sedition, crimes against humanity, then he's got to turn all that stuff over to Virginia to let the JAG Corps then take care of it.
See, and that's where I don't understand your system, because it is a RICO case, because it's not like just a standard show up for court type of criminal case. There are nuances and subtleties that I just cannot wrap my head.
I love when people don't understand that YouTube real time fucking will not let you post certain things. It just won't pop up, even though it looks like you typed it. It won't fucking be there. But then they're like, you're censoring me. I saw a monkey say there were U.S. helos nearby. There's basically U.S. helos fucking everywhere. They weren't that close to it from what I saw of the screenshots, and it's pinning down a timeline and when they were there and how accurate ADSB is, and if they were going to do this, why would they be squawking? Why the fuck would they be squawking to the U.S. military helos? Why would they do that? Right? You know the U.S. military can turn that shit off, right? And nobody can track them. I don't know. I think Monkey is a QAnon peddler, part-time, right? He does it part-time he doesn't.
And I'm not impatient. I'm very patient. I've been patiently waiting for him to do the right thing, whatever that may be.
Yeah, there was an exercise a little ways away. You're right. I saw that too.
To do it properly, to do it legally, to do it, in an upright way, by the book. And I appreciate the fact that he's not a leaker, because there's been far too much of that in every country.
Yeah. But you remember when he first started, how many sealed indictments were announced?
Okay, here we go. You remember when he first started, how many sealed indictments were announced?
I don't remember that.
Kelly.
So long ago now.
About 209,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
What are
there's
we up
over
to now?
209,000.
It's just
Get him, Jeff.
other than the assessment case, all I see is a collection of sealed indictments.
Well, there's 700,000 sealed indictments.
Yeah.
Just something with them.
is that what they were looking for in Mar-a-Lago?
No, I think what they were.
Nobody complain about Will C. He's getting upset. No one engage or complain. No one censor him. Everybody be safe. Put a protective bubble around them mods. Just blank comments on before and after he comments.
Looking for in Mar-a-Lago was what the hell Trump and the military put in place.
Right.
Right. That makes sense. That makes
Because
so
if
much sense.
they're seeing all their money dry up. I mean, shit, you just had Swiss Bank go belly up.
Yeah.
Friday, the Vatican wanted all their money back. Vanguard's no longer doing ETFs.
BlackRock is
they-
bankrupt.
Yeah, they want to know where the hell all their money is at.
Oh, and you guys, there was a
It's in
bunch of
Ukraine.
fentanyl busts this last weekend in Washington, California, and Oregon. Big bust on the coast. So that could have stopped up a little bit of their money for a little while too, because fentanyl. Okay, I'll stop.
Also, the Nord Stream pipeline. Well, most pipelines are not like PVC or even regular steel pipe. I would say it probably had 1.5 inch, 2 inch thick of fucking steel pipes. Like the shit would take quite a bit to make a substantial hole in it, to the amount that was leaking out. it's probably they usually coat it with like concrete, like steel reinforced concrete. Then it's got like a somewhere between 1.5 to 2 inch thick wall. Some are a little thicker depending on how deep they're going. It's insane to see one of those pipes as they're going in or as they're building them up. It's not like it's just like, oh, someone bumped into it, or something accidentally hit it. It's like obviously deliberate. A lot of people were proposing that they use some type of underwater drone to deliver a shape charge to go to it and blow it up, or to set it and then flee away and then blow it up.
They need
So
big
out of
money.
those indictments, is that one individual each?
Well, an indictment could be one people, could be 10,000.
Okay, one indictment could be 10,000 people. This is what Jeff used to peddle on Liberty Warrior all the time, that just because they say they got 8 indictments, that could be 8 billion people in each one.
One indictment could be 10,000 people then. So then why so many indictments? This is what I mean. There's so many nuances and subtleties within a RICO case.
Well, you figure, just look at Walt Disney World, the corporation. So let's say sex trafficking, okay?
Oh, God. Okay.
Say that they found out that Walt Disney was involved in sex trafficking of minors. So that is one.
Are they talking about the literal person, Walt Disney, or are they talking about a Walt Disney Corporation? Because they keep saying Walt Disney as if they're talking about the guy. Did he get a med bed? Because he was kind of fucked up. I thought the nice people got med beds first.
Okay. So now, under that indictment, you could virtually send warrants to every employee of that park to see if they had anything, any prior knowledge, actually participated. So you have to send out attorneys, law enforcement to go interview these people. And that's just
So is that what the 85,000 marshals are for?
So they always think that all these sealed indictments mean that the deep state's right around the corner from coming down, from being taken down, from being destroyed, whatever. The problem is that, like, there were sealed indictments before Trump. Like, he didn't just come in and write all these sealed indictments. So there's been tons of sealed indictments. There's a website where you can look up how many there are. There's been tons of them for a long ass time.
Yeah, Cashew's highlighted a question. Thank you, Cashew, because I didn't catch it in chat from Doc P. Ask Jeff if those 85,000 IRS agents are really 85,000 marshals being sworn in, question mark.
Oh.
I think.
Thank you, Cashew.
I did look up this 85,000 IRS agents. So about, I think it was, what was it? It's 87,000. And I think, like 50,000 or somewhere around there is to like replace their elderly workforce who's going to be retiring shortly. And then the new agents were to do what they do, right? They're there to help them get caught up. Have you guys ever seen the Congress hearings when IRS has to come report? You know, in 2021 was probably the last hearing I actually sat down and watched. And the reason being was because I was working on my tax return, and they were talking about tax returns or whatever. In 2021, they were still working on some tax returns from like 2018 and 2019. They were like 680% behind. It's not a mass hiring event. It's a target that they want to hire. And like I said, I think 50,000 are for IRS agents that are already slated to be retiring. So it's a target over however long, I can't remember now, but I'm looking it up, so we'll get it in just a minute. But it's like a target that they want to hire over a period of time. They're hiring 87,000 agents. Job advertises posted on social media are for special agents in the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit. There are currently about 2,100 special agents at this time, and there were 81,600 total IRS employees in the fiscal year. This article, let's see. Let's see why. Social media users are claiming that the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, is hiring 87,000 new armed agents. This claim is false. The job listing being shared is for IRS criminal investigation special agents, and currently only about 2,100 special agents carry a firearm. So they're claiming they're armed. That's the issue with this one. According to IRS Criminal Investigation, the CI Department, the IRS CI is law enforcement agency within the IRS. The text on the post reads, the IRS is hiring, the government wants IRS agents armed and its citizens disarmed. We'll let everyone just marinate on that for a second. Another post reads, what would the founders have to say about 87,000 armed IRS agents? The poster refers to IRS hiring 87,000 new workers, a number which likely stems from a May 2021 report by the Department of Treasury here, which estimated the IRS could hire 86,852 employees with the almost 80 million more funding by 2031. So it's over 10 years. And they're saying that they could hire that many, 86,852, by 2031 with the new funding they got. Reuters debunked the claim with the Inflation Reduction Act would lead to IRS hiring 87,000 agents, new agents specifically to target low and middle income Americans. The IRS and the Department of Treasury have said that, oh shit, what did I just do? Sorry, I clicked away from it somehow. Let's find it again. The Reuters article. Examples can be seen here, here, and here. Tweet reads, lower to middle Americans are the ones that will be targeted. The $430 billion U.S. Inflation Reduction Act is intended to lower healthcare costs, promote clean energy, and increase corporate taxes at a time when inflation is at its highest in decades. The commonly quoted 87,000 number appears to come from a May 2021 report by the Department of Treasury here, which estimated that the IRS could hire 86,852 employees with the almost 80 million more funding that they were given by 2031. The exact number of employees to be hired is unknown, though estimates say about 55,000 employees should be ready for retirement within the next 10 years. A Treasury official told Reuters that most of the new hires would go towards filing positions for 5,000 IRS employees who are on the verge of retirement. A Treasury official told Reuters that most of the new hires, so where they're getting the 87,000 number from, is literally a paper written, an analysis of how much money they received, and saying the IRS they received this much money. That means over the next 10 years, they received this much money over the next 10 years. That means they could hire up to 87,000 people. But the IRS is saying they'll need about 50 over the next 10 years because they have people on the verge of retirement. And the majority of the new hires would serve in customer service roles like upgrading IT systems and answering phone calls. One piece of key context missing for the social media post is that this number budgets for an array of positions, not just auditors. Terry Lemons, communication and liaison chief at the IRS, told Reuters in an email, in reality, the proposal would hire a variety of people across the agency to support not only enforcement, but taxpayer service and technology improvements. Context that is also crucial to this post is that the Treasury reps have repeatedly said audit scrutiny would not increase relative to recent years for those making less than $400,000 a year. And one example, on August 4th, 2022, IRS Commissioner Charles P. Rettig sent a letter to the members of the U.S. Senate saying, these resources are absolutely not about increasing audit scrutiny on small businesses and middle-income Americans. As we've been planning, our investment of these enforcement resources is designed around the Department of Treasury directive that audit rates will not rise to recent years for households making under $400K. Rettig added, other resources will be invested in employees and IT systems that will allow us to better serve all taxpayers, including small businesses and middle-income taxpayers. Enhanced IT systems and taxpayer service will actually mean that honest taxpayers will be better able to comply with tax laws, resulting in a lower likelihood of being audited and a reduced burden on them. On August 10th, 2022, Secretary of the Treasury Janet L. Yellen sent a letter with similar assurances to Rettig in support of the funding. Yellen wrote that the act includes much-needed funding for IRS to improve taxpayer services, modernization of outdated technology, infrastructure, and increase equity in the tax system by enforcing the tax laws against those high earners, large corporations, and complex partnerships who today do not pay what they owe. So the IRS haven't even said they're hiring all these agents. It's 10 years. They know they'll probably have to replace 50,000, but this money is for everything, right? This money is for their infrastructure. This is for upgrading the IRS. And most of them, the vast majority, there's only about 87,000 employees there. And only about 2,000 of those are armed agents, part of the law enforcement branch. So how are we going to go from 2,000 to literally a whole size of the IRS as just fucking armed officers? They're crazy. They're hysterical. They latch on to anything they can and make it about something to do with Trump or something to do with taking the nation back or whatever.
Why would the IRS be hiring all these agents?
Money.
They're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
but they're slow.
Yeah, but that's
but if they
overkill.
don't have any money, if 13848 has seized all these assets,
Pisces.
why would they hire 85,000
13848 isn't doing anything, my man.
agents, IRS agents? Now, if we
And
believe-
arm them. And arm them.
well, that's what the media is telling us, right?
Look, if you get audited by the IRS and you make less than the 400K, you fucked up something bad on your taxes. They don't even have the resources to audit companies sometimes when they know that there's going to be $1 million plus payday for them, right? When they're really trying to get a big chunk of money owed to the government, they don't have the fucking resources. Do you think that they're going to, put $40,000 minimum, $50,000, $100,000 in a case to get $350 from you? Or to possibly find out they screwed up and they owe you another $1,400? The fuck out of here. You can basically put anything feasible on. I'm not saying to do this. You should follow all tax laws, but you can put just about anything feasible on a tax sheet and turn it in. And the chances are slim to none that you're going to get audited under 400K, especially if you're in the under 200K bracket.
But if we believe what we believe is true, wouldn't you need a lot of people?
Yes. They haven't even hired or trained anybody. So, yes, any video that shows new IRS hires carrying guns to arrest people would definitely be fake. This news just come out a few weeks ago. Yes, that's obviously fake. This just come out in the middle of August. So I don't know when they supposedly took this video, but that would be quite impossible.
People to process every American's how much interest every American is paid. Because if this net and J is true.
So listen. So Jeff always says that he never talks about this. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it's a lie. He thinks it's a scam. He thinks people just peddle this for views. Here in a second, we're going to hear from Travis, Shitty Pants Travis, Shit Pants McGee, about how him and Jeff and Rhino are talking about Sage and I begging for views by peddling Nasara Gasara, which they don't even believe in. But here he is. He says, if the "n" and the "g" are true, how much interest is owed to the American taxpayer? How much interest is owed to the American taxpayer? He said it, not me. Here we go.
A lot of people to process every American's how much interest every American is paid. Because if this net and J is true, then the way I think it's going to happen is, let's say you buy a house. You bought a house 20 years ago. And if the Federal Reserve and the interest system was illegal because it went to a private corporation.
So if the Federal Reserve and interest system was illegal because it went to a private, a private corporation. So basically he's peddling Nasara here because he knows these people want to hear it, and he'll do anything to feel like he has some attention, like he has just this little bit of power that his mom's not telling him, get up in your top bunk. I can hear you squeaking. I can hear you squeaking the springs below. Stop moving around up there, Jeffrey. Anyways, and was the 87? Yes, we just read the article. They're not hiring anybody, any number. They just said they could they'll probably have to replace 55,000 people in the next 10 years due to retirement. And some other agency said if we spent all the money we have on hiring agents, we could potentially hire 87,000. No one has said we are or even asked about it. They're not hiring any number. That was all just made up.
Then the way I believe it's going to be, not, people who put out there that you're going to be instant millionaires are batshit crazy.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so the way
Okay, you're not going to be an instant millionaire. At least he gave that up. We're not going to get $1 million from the nuh or the guh.
would work is you buy a house, and let's say you paid that house off, and you paid $60,000 in interest over the period of that loan. I believe you'll get that $60,000 back.
But
And
that
it's
would go-
not. What's that?
I was going to say that would go for your credit cards, any car payments, any bank loans.
Well, principals.
Principals. Correct.
Yeah, and it would be anything that the Federal Reserve has loaned money to. So, but
I don't know what house you bought and you only paid fucking $60,000 in interest. If you had let's do some quick math. If you had a $200,000 home at 3.5% interest over a 30-year fix, that would be $123,000. 123. That's for a $200,000 home. So I guess if you bought $100,000, I don't know where there's many $100,000 homes over 30 years, you would get 60. But this is not happening. None of this is happening. Interest is real. It's the price to use money.
you're not going to get that all in one lump sum. I think what they're going to do is it's going to be like Social Security, where you were going to receive X amount of dollars a month until that is paid off back to the borrower. And I think that's good. Like Jake said, it's going to encompass credit cards, everything. So let's say you own a house and you have $250,000 left on your loan. And after all the interest that you have paid to the Federal Reserve is calculated, you get back $400,000 in interest.
Mm.
So what I think they will do is take that $400,000, pay off all the principals of any loans that you have, and the remaining part of it will be done in a monthly stipend.
Okay.
What happens to some place like Canada?
Universal basic income, month to month, from a monthly stipend on all your interest being returned to you forever. That's Jeff's prediction. All the interest you've ever paid on a principal balance, which is the cost of borrowing money. That's what interest is. If they're going to give this to you, this is the cost of using their money instead of yours. If you had cash, you wouldn't be paying interest, but you're going to be paid all of that back in monthly stipends.
Sold their gold mines to China and all of the gold that we have.
Well, now they're going to make some really pretty jewelry at a really cheap price. So go on down to Johnny's today because they still do. Sorry.
Well,
did I say that out loud? Oh, never mind.
What-
I'm going to go back in my corner.
But what do we think happened in the Vatican about 2 or 3 months after the election?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Vatican.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair game.
Jeff B. and Charlie Ward picked up a tunnel 100 miles wide and 100 miles long full of gold bars.
That's why I'm.
By the way, have you noticed Jeff, depending on what show he goes to, is what his beliefs are? He's really good at this. Again, he craves any attention, any power, any authority, any respect. So when he goes to a show and they want to hear about universal basic income from Nasara Gassara or the Vatican gold or this or that, he plays to that. When he goes to a show where he knows they don't talk about that, he acts like it's crazy and no one's talking about that and no one believes that. It's whatever show he's on, he plays to the host and the audience. Because when I call him out and say, "Hey, you said you went and picked up ballots," I never said ballots. I never said that. I've been out of that stuff for years. Well, you said shit about Nassar. I don't believe in that. Nope. I'm a hardworking $9 million dart store owner.
Exactly where you're at, Jeff.
And so
If you don't get that reference, we made him mad one day. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, just feel sorry for me. I'm worth $9 million. And then went out and leased the car the next day to show off and took a bunch of pictures of it.
why would the Vatican be
He's a nobody.
all this money back if they had all that gold at the Vatican?
Oh, now I get it. Okay.
Vatican gold, baby.
Yeah.
Right, they're all broke.
They're all broke.
And supposedly they had a lot of gold, didn't they?
Well, you saw the Queen walking through the tunnels.
No, we saw the tunnels. Yeah.
Oh, and then those countries wanting the gems back out of her stuff, her crown. Governments in South Africa, where some of the stones in her crown originate from those countries, they must have been stolen or something.
Blood diamonds.
Okay, yeah, they want that. They're like, okay, the Hydra's dead. We're calling it in. Give us back our gems. Yeah.
Yeah, they're blood diamonds.
And somebody asked a good question in the chat. What if I had paid cash for everything, and what if I don't have no debt?
Who put that one up, Jeff? And I'll highlight it.
I don't.
That is a good question.
That's a very good one. So if I could highlight it, it might help. Everybody.
And I just want to say that I am in Canada. I know a lot about the U.S., but I don't know everything. So if I ask questions, it's not because I'm being difficult or trying to be,
Stop! You're being difficult.
Oh, piss off. And so
I really do want to see that one part.
I just want to challenge anyone who thinks about it is how much do you know about Canadians?
Before we jump away from that, I mean, Jeff's just as big a Q-tard as he's ever been.
And yet here,
he'll lie and say he doesn't believe in this. He didn't say that. He didn't that. This motherfucker said that he had Thanksgiving dinner with George Bush in Afghanistan. Problem is, he got out of the military before we even invaded Afghanistan. 2 years before, and claims the reason he got out is because he had a heart attack while he was jumping out of a fucking plane with a parachute, airborne. Now, I don't know about you, but it would be. And then he said, "Oh yeah, because we weren't messing around in Afghanistan before the official invasion." Yeah, we probably were. Okay, we probably are messing around everywhere. But don't you think it would make some headlines if 2 years before 9/11, the president went over to Afghanistan to have Thanksgiving dinner with troops that were secretly inserted inside that country? Don't you think people would be like, what the fuck? And by the way, Bush has never been to Afghanistan for Thanksgiving. He's been to Afghanistan once or twice, but he snuck away famously. This is the story Jeff's trying to remember and claim it as his own. He famously snuck away to have Thanksgiving in Iraq with troops. He actually jokingly told reporters when they said, "What time's dinner?" He said, "I don't know. Mine's in Iraq." And reporters just kind of laughed and shrugged it off. He hopped on a plane and flew to Iraq and had a surprise Thanksgiving dinner with troops there, years after Jeff was out of the military.
I am
a
lowly little Canuck, asking these questions. But I do know a lot about the U.S. because I made sure
KFC buckets.
About the U.S. Not because I have to, and certainly not because it was taught to me in school.
I noticed that most of the people I've met through the internet that are from out of the country, they know everything. Like they know so much more about America than even I do. And I'm like, oh wow. And they're
That's right. Same thing Derek Johnson told us.
I agree.
I've got emails from Sudan, from Malaysia, from Vietnam, from Laos, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of them are trying to sell me Trump bucks, but they know more about America than American soldiers do. Wounded warrior. The fuck out of here, Derek Johnson.
Dharma agent.
Oh, okay, let me find it. Dharma. She's one of our.
I remember this part.
Okay, here we go. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: you have never taken down a loan, or you've never had a credit card?
That's very
no.
unlikely.
You're just saying that right now, currently, they don't have. They're zero down on debt and zero down on loans, so everything's paid.
But if you, let's say over your lifetime, since you were 18 when you were able to get a credit card, let's say you paid $160,000 in interest. You're going. My belief is
you can actually get a credit card. I don't know if you still can, but back in the day, you used to be able to get a credit card before you were 18. I had a buddy whose dad at 16 put him on as a co-user for the card, even though he didn't have a card. And like when he turned 18, his fucking credit score was awesome. Like his dad would buy all his monthly stuff off of it.
Wisconsin 888 wants to know how come Jeff B is not showing his face.
I think he lost all his teeth, so now he's afraid to come on camera. He sounds like he's toothless now. I don't know if his mom was able to reach up to the top bunk from the bottom bunk and slap him out of his fucking mouth, or if they just all fell out. Maybe they ran away from his fucking can of beans looking head. But yeah, I'm not sure.
you're going to get that money back, even though it's paid off. You're going to get that money back because an illegal scheme. And you're going to get that money back through stipends.
Oh, listen,
Woohoo! My nephew made a meme for me. Yay! Thanks, nephew.
Financial consultant Dave bought you 5 6-packs. Makes sense. I'm sure it does. Thank you very much, financial consultant Dave, for the donation at coldbeer.fund. Click on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So here in
oh my
Canada-
gosh, if you know what, you just made my heart go buy a house.
And why do you think? This is why I believe every
Jesus,
time
so rock.
I think that every time Donald Trump gets up there and he says, you are going to be extremely happy with what happens.
Yeah.
Every time he said that, we've ended up being extremely fucking disappointed. So I think you can just replace the word happy with disappointed.
What would make not only the American people, but the world happy?
Christmas in July, baby. Oh, we're past July. Christmas in October, baby.
Period. A stipend, a monthly payment. It's because you couldn't dump $180,000 on 10 TV and expect her to.
You couldn't do that.
Not go out and buy a new fucking.
You couldn't give 10 TV $180,000. What you could give her is $1 a month for 180,000 months. Makes sense.
Maserati or whatever. That would,
yeah.
right,
I'm kind of like partial to Mercedes, but I don't want to. I don't, and then take it from there. You know.
Somebody said something in there where they have put their statements from a previous month for no reason. The union saying that my credit scores, but my
it's actually that's here too. Exactly. Okay.
I think I missed part of it.
Money back from all our shit from
I thought I heard it.
from the I'm glad I work. Everybody's as responsible.
Gonna get our money back, guys. Be ready. I do want to see this one fucking part.
You know, they miss.
I don't know what I did with it.
Trump keeps coming out and saying, this is going to be a jubilee for everybody. All
Oh
Americans.
God.
Every American is going to be happy. Now,
Allowing it to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The car salesman.
Well, I'm just loans. I've worked really. It would. Does it go to every?
It's going to happen. The warning signs are there in the financial market opinion.
And they've taken a free ride and done bugger all to deserve this. So does it go to everyone?
What's he predicting now?
And this is just my opinion.
Right,
I don't have any solid facts that this is going to happen. The warning signs are there in the financial market. But
Jeff,
let's say,
could I give the disclaimer really quick? Because I
Talk
forgot.
yourself.
And we always agree that we can agree and disagree on.
For entertainment purposes only.
Any relief. And let's say they come up with a national average of what debt was paid back in comparison to what relief debt was paid.
So now they're basically going to come up with a national average of all interest ever paid in the United States. They're going to split that by 327 million, and then they're going to start panning out checks.
So
I get it. You're saying there's going to be checks and measures.
They have to, everything Trump comes back.
Maybe that's the event.
Adjusted prior to if Trump comes back.
Maybe that's
If
the event.
Trump comes back.
Maybe that.
I mean, they keep raising the percentages that the banks loan.
I think this is going to be like
Fucking bailing in.
$32 trillion in debt.
We're gonna use that to bail out.
Is that what you
Now,
think, Jeff?
he exists.
Sorry for
And
the dance
some-
party interruption, Patriots.
1,200 bits by John. Thank you very much. Is that John Frank? Thank you very much. It cut your name off, but I see it here. John Frank with 1,200 bits. Cheer 1,000, 100, 100. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Time they have to stop all currency exchange.
What kind of beer you drinking that only costs $5 a 6-pack? Not very good beer. I usually drink, when I drink High Life, but I've really cut back. I'm drinking a lot of water right now.
Inside the United
Need to get off my ass and lose some weight.
States in order to quote unquote sync your bank accounts
I
with
covered all of it.
But is it going
They're
to
being-
right now? We're just sitting
It's
there.
probably going to be a man-made situation made to look like an
I
accident.
wish I could open the fucking transcript.
Watching is real though. Jen.
you're talking about a scary event, right? A Cuban missile over and with this Nord Stream 2. Once we what is true, and because of an
belligerent. Yeah, he is. I think, and so is Nancy. She just she's.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between inept and belligerent as far as law of war is concerned.
and why
Uh,
would Nancy Pelosi, the third most powerful, demanding that I get ambassador to Italy?
In Italy, with their
I truly believe that during the whole time that Trump was in the
Nancy Pelosi might want to be ambassador to Italy because she wants to retire in Italy. You ever thought about that and still get paid?
White House, this plan this continuity government plan was being enacted right before our eyes, and we didn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
He calls her Nervous Nancy.
Right. And that's why they, from the time he came down that escalator, that they were drilling him like crazy
The
on
evolution.
everything. Yep. They
really?
kept trying to impeach him because they knew constitutionally if they could impeach him, he had zero power, and it would be harder for the U.S. military to back him in the eyes of the American people if he was impeached.
Right.
You got him on the run now.
And do
Well, I just
everything
hope we
by
have
the
it.
book.
This is the way I try to explain it to people that are on the fence with it. You either, there's no middle ground with Trump. You either believe that he is being truthful and he is not leading us down the
By the way, Jeff 3 times has called a day of reckoning. If Trump doesn't do something by this day, then it's bullshit. I'm calling him out for treason, and he should be unalived by, a rope and a ceremony. All those he's backed off of, just disappeared for 2 weeks, then comes back and is like, oh, guys, I never said that.
road of destruction or the U.S. government. So if you're in the camp of be a midterm, is because Donald Trump would say is truth coming of Jesus. But if you're in the camp of Donald Trump that believes what he say is truthful, there cannot be a midterm. And the reason there can't be a midterm
What he say is truthful. There cannot be a midterm.
is because Donald Trump repeatedly comes out and says, we caught them all. So if you did catch them all, and you go and you cast a B on the midterms and it's on a machine, then Donald Trump's a liar. Because you are doing the same thing that you did in 2020.
Yeah, but don't forget to tell him what pillow guy Michael Lindell told your buddy Liberty Warrior at his event that he refuses to report on, that he conveniently didn't cover. And that was, oh, guys, we caught him. We caught him doing the FR, the F and the cheat. We caught them all. We caught them, but we got to catch them again, okay? We got to corroborate at least 2 catchings. Fucking idiots. And Liberty Warrior will not admit that. It's all true.
Today and yet,
Did he? Yeah, but if you
I want to find one more part and then we'll move on.
what had been going on for
No.
eons in the making word that what I we're saying.
I'm just asking for a friend because everything, we kind of know the answer, but please.
they were basically talking about Bolsonaro.
Do have
Ketchup. That,
he is
Yeah.
to for an identical killer because the system everybody but you can't carry them out in the open.
I
You can
can.
carry them from your it's so
Krista.
created to fly
Outfits,
fight
kitties.
or indigo and us for many we've been
I do.
from him
Any leaks and any over trees. Yeah.
because it is a that I just for that may be back so long ago now.
He's,
We're looking for him
Black Rock's
they-
favorite.
Yeah, they want to know where the hell all their money's at.
the Rico case.
That indictment. Okay. So now, under that indictment, say sex trafficking,
Why so many indictments?
that partially
Cashews highlighted a question 80.
asset. We
And
believe
arm
what
them and arm
is illegal. Because, people who put out there that you're going to be instant million, you pay a loan. So, but you're not going to get that all in one lump.
Am I just missing it? Is that the very first?
And the thing happened in the back for all.
Okay. Yeah, where some of the stones in her.
Oh, it's okay.
Thoughts.
Good is his dragging his feet that it's causing. Well, the
I
sussman.
might have just talked over it.
Did he lose it though?
Well, it all depends on your perspective, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know about you, but when that happened, my
I'll repeat it to you if it's not right here.
I
Well,
mean,
when,
I was disappointed too.
when Sussman left the courthouse, he was escorted.
was again one piece of a multi-level puzzle, and I understand that through him things.
Yeah, but if you work into a plea agreement, considered a victim.
Right directly after, but since then, no, he's become very quiet, and people, you don't want to be Arkansas-sided, so
Oh,
yeah,
Dude,
that poor
that-
man. But he's
that poor
coming out. I don't understand, I guess, the legal system.
When do you think this whole
Brain Ike wants to know who is the guy by Jeff B with the creepy guy behind him.
That's Super Agent J. I have no idea. These are all new people to me. Like I've seen 10 TV a couple places, and obviously I've seen Jeff B. This Krista girl, when she first starts talking, she kind of bucks against Jeff B, but then she falls right in line. I'm not sure who either one of those creepy guys is.
deep state.
all this stuff. So if he knew,
You
So-
really, really, no, I
because we're at the point now where we are on the press, we've been behind us, make it wait.
Woohoo!
thing
My
going
nephew made a
to shit.
meme for me. Yay! Thanks, nephew.
The gas you use to drive to the liquor store and buy a six-pack costs $5 these days. That was financial advisor Dave again. Thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, but in Tennessee, we can buy it at the gas station. So there's just one across the street. I have to walk, but that's probably the healthiest thing that I can do. Thank you for the donation.
To say, okay, let's fix some of this crap and make it public.
And Jeff, she's just asking for a friend.
Yeah,
I
asking
think it was right here somewhere.
Asking for a friend because everything, because I think everybody's kind of feels that
That was 5 more six-packs, by the way, from Dave. Thank you.
way. And it's all the friends in chat. Like, yeah, we're all kind of asking the same question. We kind of know the answer, but we just want some.
Your only hope.
really talking about Bolsonaro winning the election.
All right, so I can't find it. But basically what happens is Jeff says, when's the last time you saw any of these people around? Not just Sussman. I heard that part. He said, the site won't let me change Dave's name. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Did it make you save him? I know you used to donate under all kinds of different aliases, didn't you? Well, you can still use, there's another link you can use. I don't have it up right now, but I do have another link. It is, Dave used to donate all the time and would change his names, and they were very funny names. It would always be super relevant to the to whatever the topic was. They would catch you off guard sometimes. But he's basically talking about not Sussman. He's talking about other people. He's like, when have you ever seen any of these other people around? And the person's like, who? And he says, like Obama. When have you seen Obama? And 10 TV says, oh, well, he was just there. He was just there a couple of days ago for some type of ceremony they had at the White House. And Jeff goes, was he though? Was he? Was he really? And she's like, well, I get, are you saying it's like a guy in a mask or a clone? No. I'm not saying anything. But unless you were in the room with him at the time that it was that whatever happened, there's no way to know if it's true. Damn, I wish I could find that.
They're putting it right on the lap of the
Little tater there. That's something else too.
Yeah.
Isn't he a Castro? Apartment above a really great party.
I don't know, in country and pet. So it's testing would be in their.
Because if that's true, there's no way to prove that anything ever happened ever.
Healthcare systems, the government, the whole bit. What?
y'all gave up your pew-pews.
Cool.
Everybody gave up their pew-pews except you.
Not me.
But I thought you guys could have some pew-pews under some
We're
situations.
allowed to, yes.
Yeah, this donation link here is still live. I haven't been advertising it because I haven't put it back up on the website yet.
No, it is in California.
You know, that's it. Well,
Okay.
It's the Stream Elements link for the gun and bomber animation.
that the
They're pretty. Oh, it's not
photo
these.
for time in it. He yes.
Don't you believe that since there isn't any leaks and any information
All these things.
during Durham's cases, if this overlaps into something that the mill against humanity,
Crimes against humanity, of course.
And that's where I don't understand your system.
to let the JAG Corps then take care of it.
Like just us, and I'm ready to do it far too much.
If it's crimes against humanity, he says that JAG lawyers will step in.
in every country, I don't remember that.
Not Kelly.
So long ago now.
About 209,000.
Collection of
No, I think what they were looking for in Mar-a-Lago, they're seeing all their vanguards no longer
There's a
doing
bunch of
Ukraine.
fentanyl buzz systems for a little while.
indictment could be.
So many indictments.
So let's say Walt Disney was thing for
The 85.
Ask
they're not
Jeff.
bearing all the 1384,000 H to process if this net and just is legal. It's going to be with the 60
Card payments.
serve is it's going to be like Social Security.
Can't believe you don't have a transcript on it.
Interesting.
Jem's back.
Yet here I am. Cool.
Much
there's more than I.
That's
Credit your scheme
oh, thank for the whole rock.
going to be not only the American people but happy.
Yeah.
It up to
exactly the same.
disappearing. Different. My credit scores decrease.
Score.
mean,
Gingy.
I don't
All of that and use
Believe. I mean, it's gonna. Look, he keeps coming out.
you know
hardwood does
explain it.
Let's say you were a responsible person to do everything. You got Swiss Bank.
Bailing out. We're talking bailing in.
The amount of money that you order to quote unquote sink your bank.
Like an X-Flare.
Yes,
Or even
Hopar
over-
This guy wants to know, does Jeffy B say the same about his love life? Does it really happen if we were not there to see his Dyson vacuum cleaner dressed up as a French maid?
I don't know if it really happens or not. I'm just, I don't make the rules. I just try to hang on here.
It's real, though.
Thank you very much. If you ask your question.
He's living.
I think if we
He says if this is the most, he does his line, this is the most popular president, 81 million votes, blah, blah, blah. Why isn't Obama there celebrating? Why aren't they throwing parties, blah, blah, blah. And someone says, oh, he is. There's 100 bits from Guess Who Farted. Thank you very much. Thank you for using Ask a Question as well.
believe what is true, the way I think this is going to play out in minutes.
Yeah,
I
I think, and so is Nancy. She just like
There's a
I thought it was around this Nancy talk.
come out on national TV and say, well, if we don't win the midterms, I'm demanding that
Yeah.
the whole thing is the poll was in the White House.
Guys were nervous.
They were drilling him. Constant attack.
I just hope we haven't.
This is their belief. You're in the camp that he is aligned with these foreign powers and some of these. What he repeatedly comes out and says, we caught them all. And did in 2020 as well. But world.
Probably a show out there.
The military during his was all
We don't play. Kelly Kay asked a question.
one he detested.
Oh, I remember this. Hold on. We might be getting close.
He is a
It's about the soccer ball and shit.
person, which he should be. I mean, that's his country. And I believe that when those two met and Trump invited him to the G7 when he wasn't invited, and Trump said, no, come on, Vlad,
Just you could read the body language there.
you know, and I believe that, you know, again, that under the patterns, Trump, everything that the GRU say is very, very, very good at their job. Their organization, like the NSA, the Patriots programs. I never met anybody that wasn't America First or Canada, because we
Than yours, by the way. I'd like to just
American
Well,
women cook.
yeah, just in the field site that I was.
pork at you.
It's more about his fake background.
oh, and poutine.
Cheese melt. The squeaky cheese is when birds to be like.
Yeah,
You back it with a good beer.
Biden, Comey, etc. Putin has it all. I think he should.
And Jim Comey owned, because you remember right before he disappeared, and I had asked him, I said, hey, you know, because he had told me that's Treasury. Comey was the
Part of the suitcase or something. Okay.
people that were, all these people are gone. And
Oh, right here. I think.
that with Joe Biden,
Here we go.
Barack Obama's number.
Finally, sorry.
Barack Obama would be out there telling the American people how great of a job Joe Biden's doing. But he's nowhere to be found.
Barack?
Yeah.
He just made an appearance over there at the White House for his.
Oh, it wasn't TNTV. It was this lady. But so you think Barack Obama would be out there telling everybody how good a job Joe Biden's done? Actually, Joe Biden and Barack Obama don't seem to be that close, for whatever you want to make out of that. But someone just said he just made an appearance at the White House like a couple of days ago for, you know, like he was just there. Now listen to his response, because if this is fucking true, then nothing can ever be believed ever, including Jeff B, because he's never been in this cargo plane picking up ballots. He wasn't at Nord Stream pipeline. He isn't in fucking Russia. Half of his background's made up. He wasn't a Secret Service agent. He wasn't hanging out at a fucking Trump rally. That was a different guy. We've exposed that. None of the things, he wasn't having Thanksgiving dinner with Bush in Afghanistan. So here we go. Listen to his response. Why isn't Obama out talking about Joe Biden? She says he was just at the White House a couple days ago for a press conference.
Sure.
Portrait.
Are you sure?
Oh, is that a mask or a clone or something?
No,
No, it was a green screen.
no, I'm just saying, unless
Dun, dun, dun.
you were in the room when that event took place, no one knows whether it actually took place or not.
True.
Good
I know that DC's been shut down since.
Unless you were in the room when this event took place, there's no way that anybody can know whether the event took place or not. How would you even begin to fucking operate as just a fucking regular human being with that type of mentality? How could we fucking do that? What do you mean you got hired for a new job? Were you in the room when the HR director talked to the manager and said, this is the guy I want to bring on? Well, then you don't have a fucking job, buddy. What do you mean you got a raise? Were you sitting there with the accountants and the HR people when they said that they were going to put you in for this raise? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean your wife says she's pregnant? Were you like up inside her pussy when you saw the sperm hit the fucking egg and there you go, a zygote? Was that something you were there? What do you mean Jeff B lives on a bunk bed with his mother? Were you in between the mattresses where you could see Jeff B's back hair and Jeff B's mom's chest hair just squished in there like a sandwich? What do you mean? How could anything ever fucking happen if you weren't in the room? How could you even begin to operate on this? We saw the motherfucker at the White House. That's not good enough. Were you at the White House? No, motherfucker, were you? So you're saying that Obama is not out here, not talking for Biden. She says, I saw him, but because you say she can't physically verify he was there, that it didn't happen, how can you physically verify it didn't happen? So let's say Obama was on TV every fucking day, and every day he'd come on and he would say, this is January 1st, 2022 at 10:59 a.m., and I am former President Barack Obama. This is January 2nd, 2022, January 2nd at 10:59 a.m., and I am former President Barack Obama. And then you're like, nobody's seen Barack Obama in 2 years. And they're like, well, he's been doing like daily broadcast. Were you there? Were you there? If that's true, let's just all pretend like nothing ever fucking happened except literally what happens between your own two fucking hands, and we can never talk about anything. You're over here saying the U.S. struck the pipeline. Were you there? You're over here telling us what's going on in Russia. Were you there? You're over here telling us about these fucking, they got it all. Trump's doing this, the N and the G. Were you there? Absolutely not. You weren't there. Maybe that's why you got that fucked up story that said all FBI agents from New York State pulled their kids out of school over a new law that was going into effect that didn't even exist. Maybe that's how you got that. You weren't actually there in the room with the FBI agents and their children when every FBI agent in the state of New York State, pulled their kids out of public school. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Pretty much so.
Well, there's also like maybe it did take place, but when?
Now listen to this.
Be recorded.
Mhm.
Just like the inauguration.
Here we come with the
Which is why Australia saw the inauguration a full 24 hours before it occurred.
This is an absolute lie. This entire rumor comes from one man. His name is fucking Charlie Ward, and he claims that he saw the inauguration happen the day before, several hours before. He changed his story a couple times before it actually happened. Okay? He retracted that statement completely and said he was accidentally watching the inauguration of Barack Obama. And of course, Biden was standing there. Now, the actual lie is he didn't watch any fucking inauguration. I don't give a damn what he says. But even by his own account, he accidentally was watching the inauguration of Barack Obama and forgot about the black guy that was there swearing in as president. Charlie Ward made up this rumor, and they're peddling it around that the inauguration was pre-recorded and that some other place in the world saw it 24 hours before everybody else. Bullshit. Didn't happen. Did not fucking happen. Show me any fucking evidence that it did. Show me any. Okay? Maybe I'll come up there and take your mom out for a nice evening, Jeff. Finally get you a father figure in your life. See if we can take care of you. Just let me know if you got the evidence. I'll pay up. You pay up. The fuck out of here. All right. Next person. Sorry that took so long. We'll go a little bit longer before we switch over to the Patreon show tonight. So the after show, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. The after show is going to be $2 and up. Patrons only. You can find that at coldbeer.fund. Click on the giant P. Join our Patreon for $2 a month. It used to get charged at the first part of the month, but now it gets charged on whatever day you join up. And then on that day, if you join up on the 7th, you always charge on the 7th. The after show after this. So let's hop into this. We were mentioned 2 hours, 57 minutes into the stream. See what happened.
Knows what that means. Optically, it's going to look like your 401ks are crashing through the fucking floor.
Correct. There's Mr. Dawn. What's up, Dawn?
How you fellas doing? And ladies.
That's right, Ed.
I'm having a great time, Don. I'm laying tacos in Walmart's parking lot. Woo, doggy!
Gross.
Hey, you gotta know when you gotta know when you can make 20 steps. You can make 2 steps.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, brother.
How you know that's your kid? Were you there for the entire gestation period inside the womb, watching it grow, checking its DNA code, its sequence?
You might lift your feet off the ground.
I think it's 257. It might be 357. Let me make sure.
You to come up here because I want to show you a video of somebody.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Said that I've been spreading this all over my.
What video you showing us, buddy?
I never have. But I want your take on this. And
I died, burned, never had. Now, I did shit on myself in a fucking subway car in New York City. I shit all over myself. But I never have said none of this, not once, I don't reckon.
And I want you to try to bring us into this because it still doesn't make any sense to me.
That's right. The 4 turds of the apocalypse. Behold, a pale and toothless rider on a white horse with a shit stain down his back. Oh, the pale rider.
Hang on, let me share the screen. Now, this is just my theory. Is their
his name was alcohol, and stumbling came with him.
Audience is going down, and they're gonna.
All right, so this is because their audience is going down. This is because their audience is going. Now he keeps saying there. He's alluding to me, even though I really had nothing to do with this whole interaction here. But he keeps saying their audience is going down. I think they're doing this for clickbait. I think they're just trying to get our views. We're killing them in views. Me and Jeff and Rhino were talking about this all day today. We're killing them. They're just doing this. There.
This is just my theory. Is their audience is going down, and they're going to start slinging shit to make it work. I don't know.
This is coming from the genius who thinks that BP oil, right? The conglomerate that is BP should be banned from the United States because he believes, because their name is British Petroleum, that it is fully and 100% owned by the fucking Queen. And it's illegal for them to make money in the United States. So I just want you guys to let you know you're probably working with a Mensa member here, okay? BP needs to be banned immediately.
I want to share. I don't know. I want to share the screen. Where the fuck's that? The window.
I don't think that's
Not
the
that one.
best
What's it called?
Red mustache tomorrow.
Oh,
I like that.
Mr. fucking steal your girl. That's what he is. Mr. Steal your girl and keep him handcuffed in the bottom of my buddy's basement that I live in.
the red mustache tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Okay, so here we go.
Hunt for Red October. That's what he means. Or that's what Mary means.
Uh-oh. Who do we recognize, chat? Who's on the screen? You don't have to say his name. I hate saying it anyways. But we all recognize the old man hat, right?
Oh, we can't hear it.
Oh, can't hear it.
Hang on, can't hear it.
Can't see.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Guess how far this guy wants to know, did Trappy think it was called DP oil? Something he was looking into for butt stuff with Jeffy B after parties with half-naked dancing cowboys.
That's right. That deep penetration oil. That's the fucking Horizon disaster has a whole new spin on it now. Thank you very much. Guess who farted? This guy.
I can't turn his volume on yet.
My favorite guy.
Yeah, well.
I only see the skull the whole time. You're listening in audio only mode. You're not even playing the video if you just see the intro screen. Yeah, you're not watching the video.
Okay, I killed it. Everybody's signal came back. Okay, I'll send you this.
So he can't play the clip, so instead he has to distribute it to everybody, okay? He has to distribute it to everybody so they can all watch it individually.
And I was just going to give him a trophy because he lasted longer than 2 minutes.
There he is. Don, your signal is shit. I got you, brother.
It's showing all green over here on my end.
You're green now. You weren't. Copy. Okay.
I guess they didn't like. I guess they didn't like what I said about your buddy there.
Hi, Suze.
Well,
hi, Stacy.
I'm gonna share this with you in chat. You can jump out and watch it. Please do. Because,
I'll do that.
Because these are the guys that were giving us a bunch of shit about thinking that this is a possibility. I'll share it in the chat too.
So Travis is 100% on the train and keeps repeating this notion. I do not believe in QAnon, but every fucking conspiracy theory he peddles is a QAnon talking point. So that's like me saying, you know, I don't support, or I'm not anti-Semitic, but you know, the Jews are basically fucking ruining our lives, right? They own all the fucking banks. They own all the money. They think that we're less than them. They call us goyim. The Jewish rabbis are doing this fucked up shit with kids and this and that and just giving out all the talking points for it. But then saying, well, I'm not anti-Semitic. You know, I don't call myself that. I just repeat every talking point they have.
In the private chat, regular chat.
Both. I shared it in both.
Okay. I'll be back. Maybe. If I can.
because please do watch it. I think it's bait.
How long? It's not very long, is it? Hopefully.
Nope. Listen, I think it's not even 60 seconds, Don.
Okay. I'll be right back.
He doesn't mean it. Of course I don't mean it. It's a hypothetical.
Did you click on it, Canadian?
No.
Okay. I'll send it to you personally.
Don't bother. I don't have no use for him.
Don't bother. I don't have no use for that sage guy.
He's the cutting.
The only sage I use is to cleanse my aura because I'm an intellectual.
Edit King. No, not interested. They took that show that we were doing that one night and they edited it, cut out.
Oh, they cut and edit. Are you talking about the time that you dropped the N-word live on YouTube? You said N-rig when you were talking. You just dropped the N-word and then Travis giggled about it and then everybody just froze for a few. Is that the time you're talking about? I got a clip of it.
Out pieces. No.
Yep.
Everybody said, didn't you go watch it?
Yeah, I cut out you using a racial slur and Travis giggling. Would you want me to show a 4-hour show just for that?
I said, no, why would I want to watch it? They don't even know me. Right. And there were people in the chat that know that it's been edited because they were there for the conversation and they know that half the conversation's missing.
It doesn't matter. What were you going to say? What were you going to lead up to that with? Here's all the racial slurs that I know. Let's start with the big one. Was that what I cut out?
Paid actors, in my opinion.
Yep.
Travis calls us paid actors, which honestly, if you're looking for a paid actor and there's something I can help you out with, I'll drop my Cash App. You can send it directly to me. We don't need no donation alerts. We don't need nothing popping up on the screen. But if we're going to pay actors, fucking pay me. Don't think for a minute. I wouldn't take it.
I think they're getting kickbacks to break up channels.
Well, I think America said it best at the Antifa, because all they're trying to do.
Antifa paid actors, paid Antifa actors who are paid. Actors for Antifa, the paid union.
Divide their own side. And they're not on your side.
We're not paid to divide our own side. You just said it. I'm not on your side. If there's ever a line, let's say we're grouping people by any metric you can imagine, and somehow I end up in the group with Travis, shit my pants. I'm out. I'm done. I've lived a good life. Thank you very much, Guess Who Farted, for the bits. I've lived a good life. I don't want to be part of this world anymore. If I'm ever segregated to like, you over there, you over there, you over there, you over there, and I turn around and this nothing but gums is looking back at me smiling, and I smell that smell, that I know he's had an irritable bowel moment, I'm out. I'm out. It's a hell of a good day to die. I'm not on your side. I'm not on your team. We're not the same. We don't relate. We're not the same people. We're built different.
I'm going to stick to that for a little bit, because until we can agree to disagree, I'm tired of him attacking David. I'm tired of him attacking Liberty. You know what? Mike's a good guy. I like Mike.
Speaking of David,
Mike's a lying piece of shit. Fired his entire workforce. If you're wondering why nobody that was on Liberty Warrior show is there anymore, It's because he fucking fired everybody. That's weird, Mike.
We lost him again.
Yeah, I already pop in, but I can't put him up there because the signal's not good.
I'm tired of him attacking David. I'm tired of him attacking Liberty. I don't say shit about fucking David. He apologized to me for the really fucked up shit he said about killing my kids. That seemed like an adequate response. And I don't fucking say a goddamn thing about him. Actually, he came to me to make a video on you, the Toothless Wander.
It says 4 out of 6 people are in here, and there's only 3 of us. So, and if I refresh, it's going to screw everything up. So I'm just going to wait. David, you may have to go out and come back in. I promise you. I'll take a picture of it and send it to you because you're not there, and it shows that you're there. If I figure out my goddamn password.
Yeah, if you have to hit 11 buttons to take a picture on your phone, you're doing it wrong.
Taco party back. Oh, Sissy K. Cracks me up.
You know, more than anything, Travis, I'm looking forward to the spring just so I can go and fish. I just want to sit by the water.
She just wants to change the subject. She's just like, I just want to fish.
Let's get you there.
Get some of that Nasara retirement fund. Go fishing for life, baby.
Turn off. Mary, you stay safe there, honey. We're praying for you.
Yeah, we'll bring batteries if you need to. Just let us know.
Okay, a long wait.
It's gonna be worse than the 20. They bring the erection.
An excellent connection. Seriously.
I don't trust our powers to be.
He's in someone else's basement, streaming on a laptop he found in a dumpster. Like, I don't think it's Restream. I'm using Restream. Does mine sound like that or look like that or ever act like that? Jesus Christ. We do have issues. It's usually when I fuck something up while I wasn't streaming. I updated or I tried to change something or I tried to put in a new overlay. But it's never been Restream. Very rarely has it been Restream because I get a Twitter notification when they're down.
Get up, Mary. Dawn's in the background. Dawn, you here, brother?
Echo, echo, echo.
I lost Dawn. I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it.
We lost the Don man. Donald. Donjamin. Thank you very much. Guess who farted gifted a tier 1 sub to Wisconsin 888. Thank you very much, guess.
I'm anxious to hear what this thing is because there was another channel that did the same thing and they got like 17,000 views.
Well, that's why they do it. They just do it for.
There was another channel that did the same thing and they got like 17,000 views. He's trying to allude to me of doing a Nasara Gasara video. Some of you guys were part of that where we had the idea. We were watching Frog News Network and Mike Penny had to call in because his connection was so bad. And he announced that Nasara Gasara had started in Portugal. So we came up with the idea to do our Nasara Gasara video. And all my chat was like, oh my God, it just hit my bank account. I'm buying a new truck. I'm getting a boob job. I'm paying off my house, blah, blah, blah. And we set that up and did it. That video went on to get over 1 million views. Thank you very much. 400 and some thousand on my channel, not 17,000. 400 and some thousand on my channel alone. And that's not counting the backup I had uploaded. Plus about 30 fucking channels stole it and uploaded it everywhere. I stopped counting when I hit like 1.1 million. Like it's probably still out there getting fucking views because you guys are dumb. That's it. He got 400,000 views on my channel. On my fucking channel. When all you had to do was click any other video that I had and see me making fun of you.
Views. Clickbait. Yep.
Clickbait. That's exactly right. So that was my take on it.
By the way, Travis is against clickbait, but tells us the reason that his channel is called The Search for Truth 17Q is literally for clickbait.
I question everything.
Yeah.
Yes, Sage, I know watching. You can jump up here. I'll throw a link in the chat.
He questions everything except when he's just like blindly agreeing with it or doesn't understand anything. Like he's another that repeats the IRS agents, repeats all the fucking tropes of idiots on the internet that see a social media post and they're like, oh, that must be true. Right now, there's a video going viral. Well, it has been. It's just now getting to like people that I know, but it's probably been going viral for like over a month about fucking Tennessee lawmakers who are spreading a false theory that originated on Facebook from another politician about kids at Tennessee schools having fucking litter boxes in their bathrooms. This is not true, nor has it ever been true or anything be true about it. The closest thing I can find to it is one school updated before the school year started. One school updated their dress code to take away choker and collar style necklaces and to include ones that could be clipped on with a leash. I'm assuming that's some type of new emo or gothic thing where you can like put on like a choker necklace and it has like a dog's collar, right? They updated theirs and like it just said the word collar, or it might have even said pet collar style necklace. And people are like, they're shit in boxes. They're shit in boxes. Like it's the craziest. None of that's true. None of that's true. Now the kids are on TikTok playing it up because the dumbass boomers are spreading it around and claiming that they went to school and some girl went and shit in a box and all this crazy shit. Obviously, that's not going on. But yeah, it's been it's just now reaching people that I actually know rather than just people I would know on the internet, like people I personally know, and they're spreading it around. And I have to call them stupid in person.
No problem with it. I think you're clickbaiting. For a man who has 17,000 followers, his views aren't matching up. You know what? I got 100 over here. I get 100 watches.
Don't be stupid, Travis. Don't be stupid. You had a channel with like 3,000. You got banned. Now you're at a backup channel, and you took a lot of fans with you. Yes, you have 100 subscribers, and maybe you have 100 viewers. Cool. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio of viewers to subscribers. Actually, mine is actually typically pretty good. It's not right now because we got all the Nick Swick followers, but like when we were on our main channel, ours was actually really good. It's usually like 10% of your followers come from your views. And if I look at some of like my recent videos, well, this is YouTube and I'm mostly on Twitch now, but still I'm probably carrying 10% views or close to it. So like, let's see, I'm probably carrying over 10%. So if you had 1,000 subscribers, you should be getting like 5% live viewers and 10% total views. So you have 1,000 subscribers, you should be getting like 50 live viewers and like 100 views within the first couple days. So like my video, I've got 5,000 subscribers, and my video yesterday got like 600 views. Or I'm sorry, a couple days ago, October 1st, guys had 600 views. From September 29th has had 509 views. From the Derek Johnson is Trash has over 1,000 views. It's not 1 for 1. If you have 1,000 subscribers, you're not going to get 1,000 fucking viewers or 500 live viewers. That's just not the way it works. Ours was always super high when I was on my main channel, but of course, then we moved and no one knows where we're at, but still. Travis has got that big head syndrome that seems to hit a lot of YouTubers. Maybe when they fucking have a video take off, or that one of them gets viral, or somebody pumps them up, or hell, some fucking famous person shares your link. People seem to get swolled up quick.
That's strange.
One thing I did get over the last couple
That's right, Russ.
months is I was buying, like the solar chargers for your phone and the emergency rate.
I'm gonna try to skip ahead to where they actually talk. Maybe.
I think eventually we're gonna get into perpetual energy.
Yeah.
So the genius that this guy is, she says, I've been looking into solar chargers like for your phone, or like small like USB chargers, which are cool. The little, like some of them, they put them in like the top of coolers or like a little pad or whatever, but it'll charge like a phone. It'll charge like a Bluetooth headset. It won't charge like, it won't like run a microwave or nothing. You know, it doesn't have that type of power demand. It's very small. But he says, oh, I think eventually we're going to get into perpetual energy. Perpetual energy. It takes a big drink out of his fucking mug. Like that isn't just the handle out of a goddamn Evan Williams green label bottle. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're not fooling anybody.
The stuff they've been hiding.
Yeah, it's already here. 30 years ago, I ran into a guy named Snell was his last name.
I think we should run into perpetually not using drugs and losing our kids to the state or our grandkids, whatever, perpetually.
Safety guy, what was the name of it? Booker Transportation out of Amarillo, Texas, and he had an invention to start a generator with magnets, and we haven't heard from him since.
Oh no! Oh no! Do you know how an electric motor works, Travis? An electric motor works by alternating a magnetic field through a coil of wires to start that electric motor to keep it running, and that's why the field keeps flipping, right? The field keeps flipping. It'll follow it partway around and it'll flip, follow it partway around and it'll flip. Now, a generator and an electric motor are basically the same concept, right? With a generator, you put energy into the shaft, it produces the field and charges back through the casing or the outer magnets. With a motor, you put energy out in through the magnets and flip them, right? And that puts energy in the coil and spins the coil and will turn, the generator to make power, okay? So most generators, not all of them, most generators are also motors. So when you go to start a lot of generators, you do it by motoring. It's literally called motor. Some of them have turning gear. A lot of them are called motoring, where you feed power back through the system into the generator and run it like an electric motor. So when he says, there's this guy used to be a safety guy at this place I used to work, and he said he had a patent for using magnets to turn an electric motor. Yeah, the way it's always been done, like forever, the way that electric fucking motors work. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, man, he can do it with magnets. Yeah, that's the way it works. It's the way it's always worked. I'm glad your friend got a patent on it.
Oh, there's a guy on YouTube's got a video how to convert your generator to water, to use water instead of gas.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's correct. Hydrogen is one of the most prominent fuels, leaves less footprint than anything on Earth.
Oh, God.
Most of that, but what do plants require to produce fruit?
It's still going to give off CO2. It's just not going to...
Oh, God.
You know that you can take CO2 out of the air and make gasoline from it now?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
For them.
About money.
Yeah,
for them.
Everything's about money for them.
Oh.
Absolutely. So,
my mind hurts.
Did you ever look up the Saudi company that bought the biggest refinery in 2017? Aramco is the name. I actually did look that up. Google doesn't want us to know any of that information. Hang on. Let's go over here to do this.
Don't use Google.
There's Dawn. What's up, Dawn? I know, but it's just I want to go through their corrupt system to find.
I think it's pronounced Aramco, and it's like I don't know if it still is, but at one time it's the largest company in the world. It's Saudi Aramco, and yes, they do own refineries all over the world, including in Texas. It's a Saudi Arabian oil company. But now it's called something else. It's got a different name now, but to shorten that, it would be Saudi Aramco. It's a huge company. Actually, if you want a really, really interesting story sometime, listen to the podcast. I'm sure you can find it about when the world's largest company was hacked. So hackers broke into the Saudi Aramco, basically like their instrumentation and systems and customer log and orders and shit, and basically shut down like 80% of the world's oil supply for hours and hours and hours. They were so panicked. They didn't know how much. They knew what customers they were supposed to be delivering to that day. They had no idea how much they were supposed to be delivering. So they just started filling out fully loaded trucks and sending them to their customers. And when they got their customer, they're like, do you know how much you're supposed to need? No, you get a full fucking truck. It was getting that fucking far behind and could have shut down like grids all over the world. It's a pretty interesting topic, but yes, you can find it on Google. It's Saudi Aramco, Aramco.
Their information. Don, can you hear us now?
Yes, sir.
What do you
So
think?
what's your question? What's your question?
Okay, so why are we switching gears because we're not getting enough follows, likes, or are we speaking some truth now? Because I don't
Are we switching? Is Sage switching gears? Are they switching gears to Nassar Gassar because they're not getting enough follows or likes? Or are we speaking truth now?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay, you watched the little video, the 1 minute video, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, I couldn't. Is he accusing you of saying that shit?
No, but remember back in the day.
You're breaking up, bro.
Well,
it's on my end, I'm sure.
Okay, well, back in the day, we were accused of spreading misinformation.
You still are. You just told people that your buddy had a patent on electric motors that use magnets.
And I didn't agree with it. Yes, and I didn't agree with it most of the time. But that was misinformation then. Now, why is it not now? I mean, here's what I think's happening. They're looking for clickbait. They're trying.
I personally think, now you don't have to think this, but I personally think it's just as dangerous if I let someone come over here and say Nassar Gassar is real, everybody's going to start getting checks on January 1st of 2023. The checks will be anywhere from like $5,000 to $8,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, I don't know if I believe that, but it sounds pretty cool. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows? Like, I personally think that's irresponsible with my platform. And I've called other people out for doing that. Like when I had Phil on, right? Phil came on and did his things, and said his stuff. And then I did an entire 5-hour fucking follow-up show where I disputed all of it. The only reason I didn't dispute it in real time is Phil needs his ego stroked. If you don't stroke it right, he'll fucking run away and take his hate penis with him. So I personally think it's irresponsible for that shit. I also talked about it before the show and after the show, how I was going to conduct the show and what I disagreed with, and did a follow-up show. Travis is just like, I don't laugh and giggle and hang out in the background, too drunk to debate, just sit there and listen to it.
They're trying to find out how many followers they can put out there, and they're trying to bring them in, and they think they're going to convert them to something else. Well,
wait. Are we speaking the truth, or are we getting new followers, or are we getting new likes, or are we converting them? We need to know all these things.
Attacking our own side is never going to be good. You and I disagree on a lot of things, but we have the same common goal, correct?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter whether I believe everything that you tell me, and it doesn't matter whether you believe everything that I tell you.
My common goal is to raise the IQ level as an average across the nation.
Of evil people.
Evil people.
Evil people. Evil people.
Mexico Mary has got it going on.
Agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
Oh, I lost Canadian.
Thank God.
With he putting out that video, is he just trying to get clicks and likes? Or is it the real deal?
Okay, hopefully I last long enough. Were you aware or that he put out a deal to join his deal? He asked Rhino and I forget whoever else. I think Liberty and a couple other guys. You probably got invited. I don't know.
I didn't get invited because I would have went, Don.
Okay, well I didn't know that. I'm just throwing this out there. So why would he do that?
I didn't get invited because I would have went, Don. I would have went. This is when Sage made a video that said he was calling out Jeff B and Liberty Warrior for statements that they made, and some of the statements were made on Travis's channel, so Travis got tagged in it. Then he has this weird drunken exchange with Sage, and then Sage screenshot and sent the messages. Of course, they don't make any sense. Why would they? From a drunken madman, why would any of it make sense? Why would anybody be able to read it? Why would it be any part of engagement? Well, it's not. And basically, it's pretty easy to tell that no one has any idea what he doesn't have any idea what he's saying. Sage doesn't have any idea what he's saying. Travis says, you call me out, but me don't think that this real. And Sage is like, no, you got tagged because it happened in your video. I'm calling Jeff B out because he said it in your video. Well, I think that YBQ, I don't believe. Sage is like, why is your name 17Q? Oh, I just did for clickbait. It's a very long and interesting conversation. If you want to read it, it's on Sage's comments. You'll see the video where he called everybody out.
Of course, Rhino didn't go, and then he talks smack about Rhino because he didn't join his little what I call pity party of a show.
Right,
pity party.
They're trying to get viewers, in my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you this:
trying to get viewers.
Who in their right mind would sit and listen to his bull crap? Anyway, I mean, your listeners aren't. Rhino's listeners aren't anyway. I mean, they may go be curious and look at him like I did at one time, and I've never been on his show since. I mean, it's just he's very negative and
There used to be tons of followers in common. I pray every night that I've ran them all off.
down, guys like yourself. It doesn't matter. That's his whole stick is putting people down on that are truthers or trying to be truthers or trying to do the right thing. He has nothing else.
Trying to do the right thing is not an excuse. If suddenly I believe that God and Trump and Jesus and JFK told me to come to your house and unalive a member of your family that you love dearly, would you be like, well, he was trying to do the right thing, right? He thought he was right at the time. He thought he was receiving messages from Venus where Trump was relaying them from a remote viewing session he was having with Michael Jaco and his harem of dolphins. Would you be like, oh, well, he was trying to do the right thing, right? That makes sense, right? Trying to do the right thing. I got you.
I agree.
That's just my opinion.
Yep. So is this just clickbait, or what do you think it is? I know that you believe in the shard to star stuff, and that's okay. We'll talk about that. I didn't look you out. My hands are here. Come back in, Dawn, please. Because I don't think that any of it makes any sense to me. Saudi Aramco is owned by the Saudi royalty. There's Dawn.
Saudi Aramco. Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. Anytime I Google it gives me 0 results.
Because you're using Google.
Every time he Googles, okay, let's just try this out. Let's do Saudi Aramco. Now, Saudi Aramco is what I just spelled out, and let's see if we get 0 results. Oh, we got 17,800,000 results in 0.7 seconds. That's weird that you get 0 results for the name of the largest company in the fucking world. Strange. I don't even know how that works, Travis.
I guess you didn't like what I was going to say.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so what do you think of that? Is it just clickbait?
He's just desperate for viewers.
Desperate. They're desperate for viewers.
I still don't understand how the whole concept works either, and I say no. But lost him. Got him right back.
I told you put a revolving door in here for David.
I did not.
I want David to jump back on. David's very careful about what he says about me. He doesn't want me talking about him. I wouldn't want me talking about me either. Sounds like a horrible fucking way to try to make YouTube videos when I'm over here talking shit.
You're here. Go right ahead.
I guess Rhino missed that part.
Okay, here we go.
I got a feeling he may have the same idea as I do.
Fasten your seatbelt, Rhino.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That's Rhino. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Don.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to tell him to put his tray in the upright position and fasten his seatbelt.
Yeah.
Needs the back.
Seatbelt extension. Go ahead, Big Don. Go ahead. Okay.
No, I lost volume. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Canadian Patriot, Don, and Rhino.
What's happening?
Nope, there goes Don. Fasten your seatbelt, David.
You want a snow
They
cone?
don't want to talk about this yet.
I got a snow
Real.
cone. I got a snow cone, Travis. You want a bite? Want a bite?
I'm good. There's Don. Company man that went to work for them. It took 3 months to go through all the background checks. They guaranteed him $1 million at the end of 10 years. Wow.
What's up, Susie?
All right, he's gonna ask him right here.
So, Rhino, we watched this video, and Jeff talked about this today.
Did you hear that? We watched it. Now they claim that we're obsessed with them and we call them out and we're always talking about them and trying to make shows. I haven't talked about fucking shit pants in forever. Rhino even fucking longer, unless they bring my name up. And Jeff, I'm not gonna let him just continue to lie day in and day out. It's not happening. I don't know if I've ever talked about this crazy Canadian person who's obsessed with Trump, which is a whole new issue. But he and Jeff and Rhino watched the video and talked about us today.
So Rhino, we watched this video, and Jeff talked about this today, and I think it's clickbait. I think that they're not getting enough views to bring to their channel. You and I are killing them on some of these. My 17 or 7, we're doing so much better than that. It's about money.
Okay. So they're killing us on views. And their channel 17 or 7, they can't remember, is killing us on views. And now it's all about money. You heard that right. They're killing us on views, and it's all about money. Travis is destroying our channels.
And I think it's clickbait. I think that they're not getting enough views to bring to their channel. You and I are killing them on some of these. My 17 or 7 are doing so much better than that. It's about money. You know what? I don't do this for money. If you guys want to donate to me, thank you. I appreciate each and every donation that I get, and I try to do some good with it. And we lost Dawn. Just like that. Even crazier, they bought 2017, thought Texas was America first. Okay, you have please clarify that for us, Josh. Maybe single boosters. Well, probably do. There's Dawn. What's up, Dawn?
Bouncing like a basketball.
I hear you. Thank you for saying that.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll know in the next few days what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe not.
I would like for something to happen.
All he wants to say, I don't think Travis knows that I changed platforms, and still my views on YouTube with half my fucking audience split over there are still nearly as good as his. I don't think he has any idea. By the way, if you're watching on Twitter, we've been watching way too long. Come join us on one of the other platforms. I dropped the link down below. I don't think he knows that I changed platforms, and still, like, our views are even, and I've split my audience between 2 fucking platforms. Like the dumbest thing I could have done if I just wanted numbers.
Do I want to believe everything that Don believes? Absolutely. But I just don't. I'm not convinced. So that's my opinion. He has his opinion. I did not get to watch the hour thing that you sent me today, Don, and we just lost Don. But I'm, I get so much information, it's killed me. We lost Don. He's gone.
Don Richie makes us. Don Richie.
You just barely got it.
So he has 1.3 subscribers. 1.3 thousand subscribers. He's got a video with 2,000 views, a video with 300, a video with 1,200, a video with 260, a video with 330, a video with 330. That's his headline page, like his advertisement page when you first come up. 2.2 thousand, 300, 1.2 thousand, 260, 330, 330, 500, 486, 3,000 views. That's a pretty good one. 2,000, 2,000. Like, I don't know where you're killing us from, but you might want to go back there and fucking double down, man.
I know.
There's on
3 Street.
I don't know what it is.
He knows the hate that people from my community harbor for him after he left here and fucked with us the way he did, and fucking threw us under the bus and set me up after I taught him how to fucking stream. He claimed like he was a big fan, threw us under the bus with Liberty Warrior. He knows the hate that's harbored for him in this community, but he keeps coming back.
John comes in, Rhino goes out.
We're playing tennis.
Yeah, Travis has the fucking bandwidth of a dial-up connection on AOL, free disc, with 1 hour remaining.
We're playing tennis on the screen there.
Hey, Don.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you got my text last week.
That's basically it.
Gonna say something about.
All right, so the last thing we're going to get started on is Phil Godlewski's video. This is going to go into a Patreon after show, but we'll get started here. This is his rapid fire from September 29th. If you're not a member of Patreon and you want to join, just go to coldbeer.fund. I'll drop the link in the chat. Put exclamation point tip in. There's the link in the chat. If you want to join us, it's the $2 and up a month Patreon group. We're going to go into an after show and probably run this all the way out till midnight on this one. So let's get started with it. This is Phil Godlewski from September 29th.
Welcome to Phil Godlewski's Rapid Fire. And we have a cool new logo. Whoa, right there. Cool new little thing we got going on. Well, I'll tell you, if you guys aren't, if you're not on locals, you miss quite a show. Pre-show while the music is on. Not just some, random screen to look at with a pretty cool countdown timer, but some cool stuff on there. So
amazing.
If you want to subscribe to locals, obviously you can do that. It's philgodlewski.locals.com. It's $15 a month. And
by the way, fucking Paul Davis claims that Travis basically passed out in his fucking kitchen, passed out and fell so hard he knocked himself out cold on his fucking countertop. That was a major strain on his relationship. I don't know if you guys know this, but they got divorced right afterwards. Rhino claims that he left him high and dry. He only paid for one fucking meal, didn't give him gas money to get out there. Basically left him with no way to fucking get home and took off and pocketed all the money that was for donations. If we really want to get into the messy part of it, both the people that were with you on that both claimed how big a piece of shit you were, how you kept all the money, how they let you stay at their house for free, how you bought one fucking breakfast and that was it with all that money you raised to do your convoy and left them fucked and maybe even cost one guy his fucking marriage. So I hope that $500 is worth it.
A lot of people ask me, well, how do you justify that, Phil, when people are hurting? Well, I justify it like this. A lot of you pay for cable. A lot of you pay for satellite. A lot of you pay for Dish Network. A lot of you pay for various things that are purchased either knowingly or unknowingly from a cabal-owned company. The days of doing that are coming to an end. You're not going to be able to do that much longer. So, you know, if
Actually, that might make a good Patreon show, right, Travis? I've still got all the recordings of all the phone calls that were made. That'd be interesting, huh?
if you're willingly putting your money that way, I can't see how $15 a month, and honestly, $15 a month is not even that, because you could subscribe right now on Locals for an entire year for $120. So it brings it down to, I believe it's $10 a month. So that's how I justify it. You're already paying for other things that you probably don't need, such as cable. I mean, when was the last time you actually had something good to watch on cable?
Real_Firefly just resubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. Real Firefly. Thank you very much.
Right, or Dish Network or something like that. So I think my prices for a premium platform such as Locals, we have our own
premium platform, troll free
system, similar to Telegram, a little different obviously, but similar. And you know, people enjoy it, and you just missed a hell of a pregame show over there. So yeah, if you can't afford it, it's okay. My lives will always be free. That's not going to change. The people that do pay the subscription price, every once in a while they'll get some perks, like they did the other night with a Q&A. They got a great show of a terrific dance lesson. It was just everything about it was just professional. And obviously just it was very well put together. And a lot of people would take a lot of professional dancers would say that the dance performance that was put on pregame tonight was absolutely fantastic. That's what a lot of professional dancers would say. Now, I don't know if everyone would say that, but I know a lot of professional dancers would say that. That's what I have to say about the performance tonight. So, obviously, yeah. Here I am. I'm about 7 pounds lighter, 7.6 pounds actually. Started doing workout routines again, and you'll see my appearance change. These are my real eyes, by the way. You see through the glasses. They're not glasses. I'm digitized tonight, obviously. A little excited for tonight's show. I think it's going to be a good show. I changed up the format a little bit, and I think you guys are going to like the new format. And if you don't, well, it's my show. So, just kidding. Anyway, actually, no, I'm not kidding at all. I wanted to get into a couple things before we hop into the rapid fire. Let me think of what they were. Wow, there's a lot of people subscribing to Locals right now. Thank you guys. I appreciate your support. It's the most I've seen on Locals. We got about a little under 8 million across all platforms right now. And yes, I know that sounds like a high number that I'm making up, but I'm not. A lot of people watch me. I know that, a certain amount of people watched Trump and watched the Queen's funeral, the other day, and they weren't as much as me. Well, then that's how it goes nowadays, I guess. But honestly, and it's not true either. One platform for the Queen's funeral and for Trump, and they had a certain amount of viewers. That equals mine on all platforms. So they still have a lot more viewers. But yeah, those numbers are real, and we are rapidly expanding those numbers, and we are reaching more people every single
Sure
day.
they are.
Just wait.
Hold on. What was the number?
The other day, and a lot of people subscribing to Locals right now. Thank you guys. I appreciate your support. It's the most I've seen on Locals. We got about a little under 8 million across all platforms right now. And yes, I know that sounds like a high number that I'm making.
Sure we do.
We got about a little under 8 million across all platforms.
8 million.
And yes,
Perfect.
That sounds like a high number that I'm making up, but I'm not. A lot of people watch me. I know that, a certain amount of people watched Trump and watched the Queen's funeral, the other day, and they weren't as much as me. Well, then that's how it goes nowadays, I guess. But
they didn't watch. So less people are watching Trump and the Queen's funeral than are watching Phil currently. So there you have it, folks. You might want to, but you can't make this shit up. You can't make. I wish I could. I wish I could make it up. I really, really wish I could, but you just can't. It's not even feasible. Who could make this stuff up? Hold on just a second. I'm going to click through some links here and see what these are. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, no. Oh, no.
Call. I had to drop them off real quick.
Oh, no, it's no big deal. You're good.
Oh, no.
I've been Would it surprise you to know that one of Travis's ex-wives?
It'll be Twitch, Patreon, and Twitch subs.
Honestly, and that's not true either. One platform for the Queen's funeral and for Trump, and they had a certain amount of viewers. That equals mine on all platforms, so they still have a lot more viewers. But yeah, those numbers are.
Oh, okay. That he was just talking about one platform, just one platform, just one platform. He was talking about. He didn't mean the multiple platforms. He just meant one. Okay, just one platform. Correction, one platform. Him, and they became friends or whatever. And Travis hung me out to dry, dude. He brought Liberty Warrior.
The little chat after the show, right? And then he brought,
Oh no. Oh no. Man, this is awful that all this stuff's still here. If only I'd have cleaned out my shit. If only. Man. I should have been on top of that. I should have been deleting this stuff as I went through it. Damn. I'm glad I added those extra 4 fucking terabytes of storage. I don't even know if I would have room for all this. That is not good. Not good. But what's going on there? It's very, very weird. That's the one where, I got some old Phil videos too. Damn. This is the one where he edited all his screenshots. Why were for him? But it took me about all day to get for how many followers. While we're talking about it, here you go. But here we go. Here's the questions. Let's see what Phil's answers are. And if he doesn't have answers, one has ties to the Rumble API. So if you say I use a different company, the least. This is where none of these starting lines line up. That one that was strange. Okay, so let's grab this one. Damn, I wish I'd have got rid of those.
They're real, and we are rapidly expanding.
Damn.
And we are reaching more people every single day. And just wait until I roll out Where's Phildo. We are going to continue to.
You're gonna play Where's Phildo?
Todd Collins just called me a maroon. I have no idea what a maroon is. I think he meant to say moron, but he drastically misspelled it. He said maroon is like way too many O's. Anyway, I want to send out a quick shout out to the people in Florida. I know you guys got hit really hard down there. Ironically, you guys know because we went live from down there and you saw our photos and stuff, but we were just down in Key West. We were just down in Miami. And as soon as we left there, obviously, maybe they knew I was there and they sick harp on us. I don't know. But what I do know is it did not seem like a natural storm.
Hey, Miss Blue Moon. Oh no. We got some bad ones there. We got some. Oh shit. These can never get out. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. That just sounded like a mic test there. Welcome, Wilbur. Another mic test with echo. Man, we got to get rid of some of these. I'm gonna have to offload them to Patreon, I think.
It's just a shame what they're able to do with weather control nowadays. So, we'll get to the bottom of that. Things are about.
Someone just go to Rhino's chat and say, hey, do you know if Louisiana is a single party or dual party consent state?
To change for the entire world. And if it seems like I'm a little excited today, it's because I am.
Okay. What's going on?
I know that you should probably look around at some stuff and pick it up for yourself. And I'm excited, and you should be excited too. And I wanted to do a rapid fire tonight for a couple reasons. Number one, rapid fires give out a lot of information in one session.
It's a single party, by the way. Answer blown.
Like a lot of you guys are thirsting for information right now, and I want to try to give you as much as I possibly could. Where did Phil go instead of Phildo? I know.
By the way, I started calling you Phildo, so I better need to get some kickback on that. It has nothing to do with Waldo. It has to do with the fact that I think you're a human dildo. But remember when he was just getting his crucifix resized to fit his new thicker chain like a year ago? And he's like, don't worry, it'll be right back. I got my crucifix. It's coming. It's going to be on there. I didn't forget about Jesus. It'll be there. It'll be coming back. It'll be doing its thing. But it never came back, did it?
Phildo sounds like dildo, but it's not dildo. It's Phildo. And Phildo is a play on Waldo. Like, where's Waldo? Plus, I'm hijacking the word away from the troll group, which calls me Phildo all the time. So they think it's cute and nice, and it's some sort of negative connotation.
Yeah, they Photoshop you on a bunch of penises. It's hilarious.
Now it's my word. Anyway, where's Phil? There's going to be a contest for a PSI. It's going to be a billboard.
I bet you'll never steal Phil is a cunt bag. I bet you'll never steal that one from me. Phil is a cunt bag. That's my word I use for you. I'd like to see you try.
Thing where you have to do a certain amount of things in order to qualify for a certain amount of prizes. We already released the current contest on PSI. If you haven't heard about it yet, you book an enrollment appointment. A presentation appointment via the website, philsilver.com. You go up there on the very top, it says book a presentation appointment. You'll book that with either Andy or Todd, go to a live presentation, and whoever referred you, if you're already a PSI member, you could get points for these enrollments. The more points you get, I'm giving away a lot of money. Giving away cruise tickets, giving away thousands of dollars, giving away new renewals for your...
He's been sporting more facial hair, 5 o'clock shadow. I think that's actually, he's been doing a lot of hot, sticky cream facials, which leaves his, leaves the majority of his face pretty sticky in case they were to come in contact with any scrotal tissue or pubic hairs. And this is what's left behind.
Your 7K renewal option.
Steven Stubble.
A whole bunch of stuff, and I'm really excited to do that and happy to do that. I have sad news to report. The sunglasses that I was wearing earlier today on my video that I posted to Telegram, the blue ones with the neon yellow or green or whatever it is on the side, I gave them away tonight. I was at an outdoor event, that's all I can say, and there was this seemed like he was about 12, maybe 13 years old boy who was swinging on a swing set, and
I thought about 9/11, and I cried and gave him my glasses.
The boy said, "Excuse me, sir." He said, I love your glasses. I looked over at him, and the boy has holes in his shoes.
I don't know if any of you guys remember this. This is the first thing that popped up in my mind. Remember when Phil was selling water filters and he was standing to make, a cool fucking $400,000 or $500,000 off of them? And then after he got banned from selling water filters, then he came out and said, "Oh, I was going to give that money to veterans." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I was going to. You can say anything after the fact, like I was going to give it to veterans, or I was going to give it to a bunch of nuns, or I was going to give it to a bunch of veteran nuns who help out orphans." Phil is literally living out the memes that I create in my head for him, where he's now helping out homeless, shoeless orphans in a playground.
He's wearing a t-shirt that appears hadn't been washed in days, if not weeks.
No fucking way.
Cold here now. It's probably out there in the 50s right now, maybe in the 40s. He's wearing a t-shirt. I just took them right off and I said, "Here you go, man. They're yours."
And that boy grew up to be Ezra Cohen Watnick, my roommate, through my CIA training.
The smile that went on that child's face from ear to ear. It was so gratifying.
I bet you're just happy to be allowed within 500 meters of a child.
And that kid, I could buy 100 pairs of those in the next 60 seconds and not even know it. That kid would have never owned that pair of sunglasses for his whole life. And I want that to be a reminder to everybody that watches me.
It was a set of Oakleys, right? It was a set of fucking Oakley. Jesus Christ, dude! You didn't give him the world. I can buy those for 150 fucking bucks. I'm sure I can get them probably for $100 with the Oakley military and veteran discount. It's pretty fucking extreme, but you have to jump through a bunch of hoops. But I could probably get them for 100. I'm pretty sure he'll make 150 bucks in his life.
That you should, at any opportunity that you get, employ some sort of random act of kindness. Doesn't have to be to a child. It could be somebody that you see on the street. It could be somebody that you know is having a hard time financially, emotionally, physically.
Now, hear me out, Phil. Hear me out. What about a random act of corrupting the morals of a minor? Okay, let's say, pretend we're a baseball coach at a high school, And let's pretend that we, for some reason, have 18-year-old friends. And these 18-year-old friends end up unaliving themselves. And that 18-year-old friend has a 14-year-old girlfriend. And then we have a random act of corrupting the morals of a minors where you just like randomly trip and fall. Oh no, my hate penis is out. And then the rest is history. Random acts.
We all have to start being kinder to one another. We can't continue on the way that we were. The way that we were is a way of the past. And I'm not saying you have to, give away money or things that are valuable to you, but if you have an opportunity to engage in a random act of kindness, I strongly advise you do that for their well-being.
For the purposes of this story, that was a completely made up story. I made that up. It's part of a novel I'm writing called Godlewski, the man, the myth, the molester. And it has nothing to do with any real life events or any likenesses thereof to real people who I may or may not know.
The person that you're giving this random act to, and also for yours, because I can tell you something from personal experience, and I want everyone to listen to me very closely. This time a year ago, I had just gotten off house arrest. No, I was still on house arrest. I just got out of jail. Couldn't leave my house. And I found God right around that time. And I asked God what he wanted me to do. And
so basically, a lot of people are trying to say that he had some facial herpes popping up. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I was keeping up with some very dedicated threads and some very zoomed in pictures that he had a little bit of facial herpes coming up on his lip. And that's why he took so much time off when he said he wasn't allowed to stream. That's also maybe why he's growing in a little bit of facial hair, hoping that will get a blending of the hair piece is what he's going to call it. That's just an ingrown hair piece. And then he won't have to answer for it. I personally, in the poll that was running, I was confused. I think I voted anal warts on his mouth. But I'm not a STD surgeon, so I could be wrong.
the answer was help people. And that's what I've done for a year. My life has completely changed. And I totally believe that the reason for that change is because of what I've done for everyone else. Some of you, maybe I haven't helped yet, but I will over the next 12 months. I strongly believe God sees it. And I strongly believe.
By the way, somebody asked earlier, how do we get to the Patreon video from here? If you're a Twitch subscriber, just stay still. I'll be back live here. If you're a Patreon member, you'll get a link emailed to you. Plus, it'll be on the Patreon page. Plus, it'll be on the Patreon Telegram groups. You'll get a link and you just click into it. We probably got about 15 more minutes, and then we're going to cut over to Patreon. It's a $2 and up after show, and then we'll probably run it out to close to midnight.
He gives it back to us in spades. That child is going to have that pair of sunglasses probably the rest of his life. Unless he loses them. If he loses them, it's going to be a tragic day for him. I don't know who it was. I've never seen the kid before. He was cold. I wish I was wearing a jacket. I would have given that too. Just doesn't seem right,
So he wasn't wearing a jacket, and you weren't wearing a jacket, but he was cold?
Doesn't seem right that.
The fuck were you wearing?
That's of
thermals?
The means to afford whatever. Car, house.
Long pajamas?
Clothes, gold, silver, sunglasses. Doesn't seem right that only a small number of people should be able to enjoy those things. And it bothers me every single day of my life.
Do you know you have to have like 10 fucking people below you all give a fucking dollar for the dollar that you make? And you've magnified that by like $400,000, $600,000, $1 million? What do you mean it's not fair that some people have and some people don't? That's only because you're at the top of the pyramid. There's no way if you were one of those bottom fucking rungs, you'd be out here giving away your money and shit. It doesn't work like that.
I feel like I'm almost on a mission now to change that.
Got a kid assaulted today.
Or at least I'm going to try. So I encourage everyone to go down that path and entertain random acts of kindness whenever you can. Be nice to one another. Be friendly to one another. And let's try to turn around the way that humanity has behaved in the past couple centuries. All right, we're going to get into the rapid fire. I'm going to I guess that is on my microphone. It doesn't seem like it is. Hold on one second. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. By the way, I will be buying a new pair of sunglasses. That was my favorite pair, and I want those, but I wanted that kid to have them more. So you will see me wearing new ones. I have another pair of the same exact pair out in Havasu, but here.
Let's rapid fire it.
Buy another one, but I'm glad to have helped, and I think I would encourage all of you to do the same. Now, getting into the rapid fire for tonight, a little bit different of a format.
I mean, if you really wanted to help a kid that didn't have a jacket, that had holes in their shoes, that their shirt was all run down, they didn't have fucking pants on for whatever reason, and then for some reason you look down and you were also not wearing any pants, then it changes from a park to like a secluded bedroom where no one can hear them scream or whatever the story was. Why wouldn't you just be like, hey, kid, what size shoe do you wear? Stay right here. I'll be right back. And go to any fucking store and buy a pair of shoes. Be like, here's shoes. That holes in them. Have the glasses too. Like, what are the glasses going to get the poor kid?
Down here.
Beat up? Anybody, I personally think that charity should be done quietly, blah, blah, blah. This has been a big issue with like the QAnon people. They're like, well, Phil's rescuing kids and making people money, and he was going to donate all this money to veterans. What do? None of your goddamn business. Like if it's going to get down to fucking a dick measuring contest on who volunteered the most, I mean, I guess I can go get all my fucking hours of non-mandatory community service, not some of this Phil bullshit, but and spread that around. But I don't think it should get to that.
Reversed, always. Down here, where it says rapid fire, that little logo, in 1 second you're going to see something pop up that says topic. There it is. Make that a little bigger. There we go. So a lot of you missed it on locals, and I would encourage everyone that is on locals to pay attention, because I do have these little polls that go up every now and then, and I remove them after, say, an hour or 2 or 3. I had a poll on locals asking what topics people would like to discuss during the next Q&A session, and it just so happens that today is the Q&A session in the form of a rapid fire. So we are going to talk about topics that my locals audience requested to be spoke about tonight, and we're going to do it in a rapid fire manner. So I am going to post the topic on the bottom of the screen, right here-ish, around that vector, sector, quadrant, matrix, right around there. I'm going to put a topic there, and you are going to ask me questions about that particular topic. Keep in mind, please, that the... oh, you're right. There's no topic on locals because they don't have that ability. Let me check something if they implemented something yet.
So the one platform that you've dedicated all this to and the poll to won't allow you to put text on the fucking screen. I don't know if you're using this platform correctly, buddy. I don't think you got it. You can put up the word topic. Oh God. Oh my God.
They were supposed to, don't know if they did. They did not. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit different for the folks that are on local so they could actually see the topic that we are speaking about. So let me figure that out real quick. All right.
Phil.
It can take too long. So
Phil, if you see this, call me. You got it. You got to learn how to, you got to learn. You got to learn how to do this. Okay. I can send my video as a camera to anywhere. If you've ever been on a StreamYard with me, you can see my entire show. Not just me, not text on the screen. You can see everything. Why? Because I made it that way. You've got to learn, dude. You've got 9 billion fucking viewers. Come on.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what the topic is. For those that are watching on Rumble and DLive, you will see, because that's streamed through Streamlabs, you will see the topic posted right here at the very bottom of the screen where my finger is. That's the topic that will be on. I will continue to remind people that are on locals what topic we're currently on. I will not take any questions outside of the topic that we are on. Okay? That's how it's going to go for tonight. Now, reminder about the rules about rapid fire. These are yes and no questions only. I will not elaborate on answers unless I want to, and the reason why I can do that is because it's my show. So if I decide I want to elaborate on something because it deserves a further explanation, I will do that, but for the most part, probably 95% of the time, I'm not going to do that. They're going to be yes or no questions with no follow-up and no explanation from me. So ask a question that deserves a yes or a no answer. Those are the only questions I will actually read.
Okay.
Questions from Rumble, D Live, as well as locals. So no one's getting preferential treatment here in terms of who could ask a question tonight. The topics came from my locals audience, but the topics are not what anybody's able to ask a question on the topics. Only the topics came from the poll. Okay.
Right.
If you missed that poll on locals. Watch the homepage on locals. I do put stuff on there. I pin it to the top. It'll only be there sometimes for a couple hours, and then it'll be gone. And I'll take the results and go from there. Second rule of rapid fire is that I only answer the yes or no questions to questions that I know the answers to, not speculation about. Only questions that I know the answers to. I will not even read a question that I don't know the answer to, because then the answer cannot be yes or no. It'd have to be I don't know, and that's not a rule of rapid fire according to rule number 1. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. Let me just pull up D Live here real quickly. And we got D Live in the house. We already have a ton of trolls on Rumble, so I'm going to do my best to siphon through there. So I'm trying to switch up the audience and get more to locals, so these people they don't bother me. Let me tell you how you guys should treat the trolls.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've given this example before, and this is how I treat them. Imagine you just bought a new puppy, right?
Uh-huh.
Bought a new puppy for Christmas.
Okay, a puppy.
Kids or whatever, right? And you bring the puppy home.
One of your kids you have custody of.
It's with you a day or two and pees on the carpet, right? Are you mad that it peed on the carpet? Yeah, but it's a new puppy, you know? So how mad could you get? You almost feel bad for it. You don't want to get mad at it and be like, get over your puppy. He doesn't know he's a puppy. That's how the trolls are to me.
Okay.
Puppy that peed on the carpet.
New puppies.
They don't affect me much more than a puppy peeing on a carpet.
There's only one puppy you're scared of, Phil, right?
You know, does that ruin your day because the puppy peed on the carpet? It shouldn't. If it does, you need to settle down. That's kind of what my message is to my followers. Don't let them bother you on that level. They're.
Oh, I hope she does better, Carolyn. I've been wondering how your mama's doing. I sent you a message the other day, but I don't know if you ever got it. If you responded, I didn't get the notification. I get so many notifications, it's hard for me to tell on Facebook. But hope your mom's doing all right. And granddaughter.
They need God in their life. They lost God at some point in their life, and pray for them. But don't get all upset when they pee on the carpet. Just let them pee.
He said no inauguration would ever happen.
You know, clean it up. How hard is it to clean it up? Just clean up the pee. Move on. That's all you gotta do. So that's how I feel about you guys.
It was secretly recorded in the Supreme Court.
Just so you know, you're nothing more than a puppy that pees on the carpet.
Oh shit!
It shouldn't. If it does, what topical
I accidentally clicked ahead.
It's only. I will not allow to answer the 100 years old now. So no. Here we go. We're gonna start it up.
It doesn't matter.
And pray for them, but don't.
Okay, there it is. The puppies.
Just let them pee.
Sorry, my bad.
Clean it up. How hard is it to clean it up? Just clean up the pee. Move on. That's all you gotta do. So that's how I feel about you guys, the trolls on Rumble. That's how I feel about you. Just so you know, you're nothing more than a puppy that pees on the carpet. Please pray for the puppies. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna start it up. Let me get the first topic on the screen. We're gonna go in random order for the topics. There were obviously some of them had more votes than others, but I'm just gonna go in random order. So. Trump. First topic is Trump. For those watching on Rumble and Streamlabs, you could see the topic on the bottom of the screen. For those of you watching on locals, you cannot. The topic is Trump. Anything Trump related. I had a lot of Trump requests. Anything Trump related. Yes or no questions, please. Here we go. Do you think Trump will still be arrested? Yes.
Okay.
Do you talk to Trump often? No. Does Trump have control of the chemtrails? Yes. Has Trump given the go sign? What's it? No.
What? Oh shit! It's so close. What's today? That's a first. I mean, all these are lies, but that's our first gigantic one. Has Trump given the go sign? Oh, what's today? No. By the way, this was on. When was this recorded? On the 29th. On the 20-fucking-9th. On the 29th. 4 days ago, but it was so close. 4 days ago, he had to check and see what day it was.
Is Trump still commander-in-chief? Yes.
No. By the way, again, YouTube, I do not believe these views. I'm here to dispute these views. I do not align with these beliefs. These are not my beliefs. They're solely his beliefs, and I think they're bullshit. Stop fucking banning me, striking me, hitting me for stuff that other people say. I'm disagreeing. I'm sorry, Carolyn. Hope she gets to feeling better. By the way, we did. Who has a better poll? Gil Podlewski or Beerman Will? 100% of the vote went to Beerman Will. So thank you for that. Now we know. It was mysteriously spelled as if it was poll like a flesh weasel rather than a poll like a voting apparatus. So either way goes, I guess.
Do you believe Trump will be back in office by January? Yes.
By January.
Is it really the Trump? Is it really Trump at the rallies? Yes and no. Is JFK Sr. Trump's body double?
9 million viewers. He's having trouble finding a fucking question to ask at times.
No. JFK Sr. would be over.
With 9 million viewers, he wouldn't be able to read the chat. He would need, literally, someone feeding him fucking shit. Look, the time we had 9,000. So you have 9,000, then you have 90,000, 900,000, 9 million, okay? 3 orders of magnitude higher. When we had 9,000, I couldn't read the chat. I could read like one message every few minutes, and there was probably 200 messages in between that. At 9 million, the chat would be moving so quick you couldn't fucking read it.
Over 100 years old now, so no.
He says that every year.
Should we expect Trump back in office by 2022? No. Does Juan O'Savin really have an in with Trump? No.
Yes, his old videos are wild. I asked him about his old videos when I had the interview with him, and he said, oh, I was just trying to keep my job and keep a low profile. I couldn't come out and tell people. I have a legitimate witness that is part of the truther community that was partnered with at the time a very, very well-known truther that had a conversation with Phil, a 3-way conversation between his old partner and Phil. And literally, Phil called them after the inauguration and said, oh, my God, what are we going to do? He's leaving, and Biden's going to be president. What the fuck are we going to do? And the guy's like, well, I don't know. We're gonna look into this and maybe this and the Senate and the Congress. And Phil said, have you guys ever heard about this QAnon thing? I'm thinking about checking it out. There might be something to it. But then he claims he invented it as well. $9 million people, no questions.
Will Trump tweet on Twitter? Yes.
I might tweet my Twitter tonight. I've been feeling kind of stressed.
That Trump does at his rallies, recognizing people part of Q. Yes, not the Q group, but yes, Anons. Yes. A lot of people wear Q stuff to rallies. Every time he sees them, he does the air Q. Did Trump have a child with Diana? No.
I did, though. He always says top Anon. He's the top con, for sure.
Well, Sarah,
I will give him this piece of, I guess, credit. He's probably, right now, he's probably one of the best that doesn't have a studio or a team or a staff and all these people around him at monetizing himself through this. Now, Scott McKay is going to pass him because Scott McKay did the same pyramid scheme grift, but he kind of thought about it a little. Maybe he looked at Phil or took tips from Phil, because the way Scott McKay did it is his whole first level, the like 8 people below Scott McKay, all of them are big time influencers like Michael Jaco and the fuzzy dicks that didn't pay the can the bishop get some water, like those types of people. He's going to pass him. But the system Phil's got in place now, I mean, he's making over $1 million a year easily. And for the foreseeable future, he's going to keep that. Maybe some people will leave in January. I don't know. They're the dumbest people I've ever ran into.
Start before Trump is back in office. No.
He started it right after the inauguration happened. Or right around when they were planning the inauguration. Inauguration was going to happen. That's when he started it. Cubs fan. he had no idea about it. But then he goes back and says that he was posting as Qrew. He was one of the first ones. He was picked as a top anon when this all kicked off because they needed one for the Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, Southwest, and the Central location, like the Midwest, I guess. He called it Central. And he was the top anon over all those guys.
Is President Z overthrown? Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't have to do with Trump. I might be able to answer that later, though.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to move to the Patreon show. If you want to join Patreon, I'll give you a couple minutes. It's $2 a month if you want to do the after show. These shows usually only last 2 hours, but I've taken this one almost 3 hours, and I'm going to wrap it up on the after show. So that's patreon.com/cold beer, or you can get to it through my donation site, coldbeer.fund. But the easiest way to get to it, if you want to sign up, is patreon.com/cold beer. It's only $2 a month. You can also be a sub here on Twitch, and you'll get the same show. But it's $5 a month, and Twitch takes half of it. So it's whatever you want to do, whichever platform you like better. Patreon's on YouTube, video link that I'll send you. And then Twitch is, of course, Twitch. But we're getting ready to move to finish this up.
Will MedBed start before Trump comes back to office? No. Was the last rally a distraction? Yes. Is Kim Jong-un a white hat working with the alliance? Yes. Topic is Trump. I'm only answering questions on Trump. Anything Trump related, but some of these questions are not Trump related, so that's why there's pauses here. Will Trump successfully negotiate a deal between Russia and Nord Stream? Yes. Although it's not necessarily up to Trump to do that, but there's ways that he could mediate a deal. And so the answer is yes.
There's ways that he could mediate a deal between Russia and the Nord Stream pipeline. Like Russia needs a deal with their own pipeline. That makes tons of sense. Anyways, join us for Patreon if you want to. Cold beer, patreon.com/cold beer. I'm going to play some outro music and end this one here. Give me about 5 minutes max and we'll be back up. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome, 10 TV. Jeff B's a lying piece of shit, but you're welcome.
You might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy.
Woohoo! My nephew made a meme for me. Yay! Thanks, nephew.
Jaybird with 5 6-packs. Thank you very much. We love you, Beer Man, Mariah, and the boys too. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation and support. Trying to figure out why my skull's messed up. Oh my God, look how many freaking skulls I got. It's way too many skulls.
Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep trying to me. blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling.
Should have known something was wrong with all those skulls. Oh. There's one of them gone. I think the other one's there permanent though. I wish I knew your show times. That way I could make fun of more Jeff B. I think the last thing you probably want is my group's attention, but potato, I guess. Hi guys, look for the link. If you're a Twitch subscriber, just come right back here. It'll start playing for subscribers only in just a couple minutes. Look for the link in the groups and in your email, and I'll see you guys on the after show. Have a good one.